welcome everyone, whoever you are, whatever you're watching for, or whenever you're watching, to our daily Limbus Company ID study and Mirror Dungeon, as well as our book reading, which I don't know if I'm gonna still continue after we're done with the Metamorphosis. We'll see about that. Just give me a moment as the game was updating, so... Give it a moment as the game is updating. Today we have something very special. Hello, Acidic Trauma, how are you doing? We have something today very special. For today is Sharding Day. That's right, the best day of the goddamn week, the Sharding Day, where we get the ID for free. So we're gonna be doing the middle today, and if I'm lucky, if I'm feeling like it, maybe I'll do 10 floors or more. Let's collect our rewards, shall we? Did I collect my dailies today? I don't think I did, but whatever. Well, without any further ado, like I said, today we're going to be using the middle, and I'm very excited about using it. Although there's the Reflect trial, which I might do this weekend. So let me just trash this thing since we're not going to use it anymore. And equip our middle IDs. We're Middle Brother. We're Dawn. We're Ishmael. And we're Sinclair. Sorry, there's something on my nose. As an exception today, Leiheng is going to take the back seat for a little bit, and we're going to bring up Ricardo instead, because it's only fair. So we have our middle ping here. Let's go dispense a unit, shall we? Because I don't pay for my stuff, so neither should you. Let's start with the Eagle real quick. Thank you. Very cute Eagle, man. I really like it. Bump up the brightness of my screen so I can actually see through the glasses that I use. There we go. Leiheng deserves a little bit of a vacation. Don't worry about it. You'll have a nice time. And middle big brother, finally, you are mine. Let's start right away with uptying him, because that's the most important thing. Where is he? There we go. Let's first level him up. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough tickets for a full level up. Do I have any level boost tickets? No, I don't. What a shame. Well, we gotta do some XP farming before the game, but that's fine. But most importantly, let's get the uptie out of the way. I am not going to waste my tread with that, for I possess a uptie 4 engine module thing here. And we are going to use it, because resources exist to be used, and by Jove, I am going to use it. That is a very good animation they put per hit. I wish I could put that, like the mystery shadow silhouette with the eye catcher as the little animation that plays whenever you use the skill tree. That will be good. All right, here we go. I need to prepare to switch voices so that I can do the narration. But you could get away that easy, eh? I bring the suffering that was promised to you when you cast me into the world of the bristly.
Bringing punishment to the thief who stole the child's hair saloon coupons was a long and arduous journey. If all the child wanted was simply revenge, it would have been more efficient to rely on the element of surprise to capture and met out the deserved consequences. But that simply would not do. Uncool solutions were not an option for the child. Heart-pumping electronic dance music, fully slicked back hair, and flashy sunglasses still worn even in the dark of the night. Those were the hallmarks of a badass and cool entrance befitting a big brother of the middle, thought the child.
Oi, half pint. You're the one who nicked me coupons. You must be the person you came all the way here that you done, stalker. Stalker, mate, it's some grave misconception, because going after a thief ain't the same thing as stalking someone. It's their no audacity to think that, isn't it? Well, what I was supposed to call it says frequent chase me all the way across the city for a unicorn to the Great Lake. It gets to a point, man. Failure to recognize your own crime, blatant lack of apology, or any sign of remorse for stealing the victim's deserved lusciousness, to insistence on contentious behavior. Looks like you're getting another line in the book. Eh? Oi, who added this already? This individual's violation was logged for later punishment in accordance with Title 6, Section 2, Row A. Yeah? Yes, because the individual's behavior met the specific conditions required to invoke the aforementioned article. But this bloke's, never mind, you did good, lad. Alright, let's get this back on track. Point is, you just bought yourself another line in the book. Oh, this is for a lousy coupon to a hair salon, you crazy bastard? I told you I'll pay you back for it, didn't I? Time and time again. I asked if you could make a deal when you refused to listen to me every damn time. A lousy hair coupon, really? After narking me, insulting me by assuming this grudge could be swept under the rug with a bribery. A lousy hair coupon? Searching for sections relevant to narking. No, forget it. I think I can forgive that minor slight as long as it turns a little something. That hair coupon you nicked from me. Hand it over. Get your noggin ready, cause this ain't just the coupon anymore. It's about the shame of having to show myself under the sun day after day with a hairdo that has slid so far into the world of the bristly. Ooh, it's almost a desperation of wanting to hide under a cap, yet having to parade around my humiliation, because wearing a cap would have sapped even more vitality from my hair. All of this is coalescing the simmering wrath as I journey to the east, and I haven't even begun my pilgrimage of loyalty to earn the right to become a great brother. The only thing that will put this righteous anger to sleep is to become luscious. That's right, you daft bastard. That hair coupon you stole from me is now lusciousness incarnate. What I'm saying is that I'm generous enough to turn a blind eye to your minor insults as long as you return an object of such significance back to my hands. So quit stalling and cop it up. Huh? And if I said I can't even if I wanted to, what then? Art thou refusing to return what belongeth to the rightful owner? No. As much as it knocks me to admit that wasn't a refusal. Your hair, it's become luscious. Oh, fuck. Oh, someone is beyond the dead right now.
The little simple's eyes instantly darted toward the coupon's thief's hair and the child's comment. That hair looked as though it would flow and wrap gently around the hand when one comes through it with their fingers. Frankly, the subtleties of hairstyling weren't immediately apparent, but borrowing the child's vocabulary, the thief's hair must have become luscious. And the fact that such an elevated state was attained not by the child, but the thief meant that...
You little shit! This just silly big bro's hair coupon wasn't enough, huh? You just had to use it too, huh? Of course I did! Why do you think I stole it in the first place? I mean, just think about it in my shoes. There's no really point in getting a single line forgiven when I'm already neck deep in your book of vengeance. Get what I'm saying? And hey, though I might as well go enjoy a nice visit to your private hair salon when I got the chance. Since you're gonna come after me the rest of my life anyway. Salon de Boulot, was it? Sure, lived up to his name. Ha! He must be mad.
Was it wisdom or foolishness? The thief's name was indeed attached to a countless number of vengeance in the book, which included stealing from the child's safe, fleeing from the widow's vengeance, and everything that happened between then and now. Like his student, getting a single vengeance forgiven would have made a nick of a difference anyway, because whichever excuse he had to give, it would end up in his execution.
He sure is an awfully mouthy for a bloke about to pop his clogs. You'll have to reckon he's got a life insurance or something. A single execution may not be sufficient to counterrate for that negates the grudge, however. There exists precedent for a crime not entirely dissimilar to the one we're currently being addressed, in which a subject whose life was insured was killed over a dozen times to be rendered into a state of post-resuscitation mental degradation and punch drunkenness prior to complete and total extermination. Yet the villain doth persistently uttering such vile insults to our big brother. In moments such as this, methinks justice ought to be delivered post-haste. Going off great brother's advice, either way is decent enough. What's your take, Sinclair? How about tenderize him half dead first? You'll have an easier time to tell him what to do when he wants his two big swollen teeth to talk back. I like the sound of that. Oh, sorry, skip that. Oh, that's perhaps
the child was pleased with the suggestion, because he produced an adorably tiny sticker for inside of his coat and pressed it neatly onto his little brother's book.
Thank you, big bro. Right, let's crack on with it. Let's give it a proper trashing before thinking about what comes next. You Thanks, Freak. I like me sure what I'm planning to fall back on. You don't actually believe that spot you chased me across half the city just didn't bother setting anything up, did you? That sound. Something's closing in. Mercer, what time is it? It is currently 3:30 in the morning. The night of the back streets has begun.
Tremors spread to the ground, drawing closer with every passing second. It was the sound of the sweepers flooding through the roads. For backstreet residents, a rumble on the road as familiar as the rumble of one's own breath. Still, there was something off about this whole situation. The interest through which the child and his little sizzles chased their mark looked hastily put together, and the thief was already sprinting towards another room. It didn't take long for the child to piece things together. His voice sharply cut through the air as soon as he realized what exactly the thief had in store.
Oh, grab that bastard now! Oh, I knew something about that entrance looked makeshift. Too slow! Have fun getting swept away, dumbasses! They won't even leave a bloodstain behind once they're done with you! By the wrecked villain had fled into the adjacent room. Our righteous fury shouts might through the door and... Nah, that ain't somehow. That's a proper residential area. That cheeky half-pint used his noggin, didn't he? Look like we're gonna have to hold on against the sweeper waves, big bro. Don't you worry your little head now, lad. Even if I get swept away by the waves, the middle settle that score proper. Nobody walks away for the vengeance.
The night in the backstreets passed, as it always does. The thief stepped out from his building, bold and smug. He congratulated himself for this well-thought-out plan that finally shook the persistent stalker. No one can survive the tides of sweepers that consume everything and everyone in their path. He believed, not even the child. However, he seemed to have underestimated the child's tenacity, the unyielding doggedness of the syndicate that calls itself the Middle.
You stalker freak, how are you still alive? Hey, then, all up rep and you're already done. Damn it! Look, don't kill me just yet. There's something you should know. What? That you weren't actually the one who nicked the coupon? Exactly. Another way. You already knew? Of course I did. The bulky security footage wasn't anywhere near as tiny as you have, Pine. Gives it away, isn't it? They give me the fake, yeah? Without a cracker scoping like an egg or just keep killing you over and over the burning anger spent and satisfied. Well, I'll talk. I'll tell you ever so please. I am my business finding out what blood ties we got to the real tip now. My lad's digging them all up soon enough. And you not being the thief makes no difference either. You already gone in there to some fresh grudge with me with a little trick you pulled. Truth be told, I'm sick of this whole mess giving me a headache. Got a pilgrimage of loyalty coming up, yeah? Proper nightmare that labor. I'll clear out all the useless rubbish clearing my path before I dedicate myself to it. I can help you. Let me get you that fucking thief and you work for you instead. That does it. You flapping your lying glove, basking in that lushness like you're the only one who earned it. That's about enough to get you every last thought tied to you. Immediate, complete, and total extermination. Very good, very nice. Ah, that was nice to see. That was nice. He gave me a kitty sticker. My nose is very runny today. The voice is. I've been practicing a little bit. Alright, I do need some XP to level up this boy before we can properly deploy him. And as it stands right now, I currently have not a single ticket to my name. So it's time to hit up the excavation. I hope it's blunt today. It is blunt. How nice. Let's do 5. It's quick. Oi. And we get to use the middle IDs. There we go.
하나씩 차근차근 그어서 되갚아보죠.
Sorry about that, there was a dog here. Right, let's get some XP real quick. Purple. We got the full purple. After we're done leveling up, we're gonna actually look at his kit and see what we can do. Purple. Actually, with a full purple, we can do better purple. There we go. We are gonna look at every single middle ID, so don't you worry about it. We're gonna review all of them real quick. I feel like I'm getting really good at reviewing the IDs quickly enough without wasting too much time. Today is a fine Thursday. I didn't have much work today because most of my students skipped class, but yesterday I was hanging out with my friends, took a lot of coffee, and now I went to sleep 4 in the morning, and I had to wake like 6 in the morning. 6, something like that. And boy, that was not fun. Because, you know, pot of coffee allows you to draw 2 hours from your next days, and I did that, and I was playing nothing but No Man's Sky, which is a very fun game. From what I know, in the middle, he used that as the owner of private hair salon. Where'd you get that information? There is nothing in the story there that indicated that was the... Unless there is some dialogue for him as like a greeting, I don't think that was ever a mention of him seeing Dante as that. I don't know where you got that information from. I still suffer a little bit for the lack of sleep. I'll try to sleep at a proper time today. But bed, No Man's Sky is really fun. I really enjoy it. After its harrowing journey to become a good game, it's essentially Starbound, and I played a lot of Starbound when I was a teenager. And it's essentially Starbound, but better in 3D. I have a story to tell you about Starbound. Holy shit. I loved and then I hated that game. My nose is also very ready for some reason. Maybe it's the allergies actually up again. Whew. There's not much to talk here, and he's still not getting into the full ID analysis because this is just XP for Ricardo to get his lusciousness back groove going. I got the information from what I detected from Middle's Heathcliff dialogue. Which one specifically? Is it? We'll check these lines on. Oh, explosion! Forgot he could do that. Yeah, because I haven't read his kit yet. I'll check his dialogue in a bit. I should check the dialogue for the other IDs as well. I haven't been doing that. We should try to squeeze as much information as we can from the IDs when I do the ID study, like lines and stuff. Because there's always a bit of lore hidden into like the morning greetings, afternoon greetings, late greetings as well. But I never pay attention because I don't switch them up too much. I know. Fresh wave, fresh counter wave, fresh counter wave, fresh counter wave. Let's counter. Come on, baby, hit me one more time. Nice. Let me tell you my funny Starbound story, like while I'm here. So, back when I was a wee lad starting out on the internet, I got across this wonderful little game called Starbound. And I don't remember where I acquired it. I actually don't know how I acquired Starbound. I think I got it for free or something like that. In any case, I got Starbound, played it a little bit, it was fun, and then I came across a server. The server was on a Forsaken website, as we know, as 4chan. And alright, I'll join this. I don't know what it is. I'll try to play it around with some people, and I joined and played and had a good time. The problem is that the server that I was going to play in was a ERP server. If you do not know what ERP is, I don't blame you, because me as a teenager did not know it as well. It meant erotic roleplay. Yes. I didn't know what the hell that meant. I just thought it was, oh, we pretend to be the characters, talk like the characters. All right, I'll join. And so I did. And while everyone was, having, doing the unspeakable with words, my character, which was a robot, was running about saying, hey, you want to fight me? Hey, you want to fight me? Hey, you want to fight me? I would knock on their doors during their sessions and say, hey, you want to fight me? And that kept going and going until I realized, oh wait, this is not what we're supposed to do. So yeah, it was an interesting experience. I made some friends there, actual friends that I talk to this day, and they are very nice. They helped me through some tough times, but man, that was interesting. And then I came to hate Starbound, because Starbound promised many things. It was a bad game. It was not a very good game. And the only way that it made it any good was a shit ton of mods. But yeah, that was my funny Starbound story and how I got started on doing roleplay on the internet. Now I am actually, you know, doing tabletop, proper tabletop that doesn't involve erotic roleplay. Which is, yeah, well, it's not good. It's not very good. It's not for me. And now I'm playing No Man's Sky. I am painfully reminded of Starbound because No Man's Sky is pretty much Starbound, but better. And it's pretty fun. I'm having a blast. Even though the combat is kind of dog water, it's alright. Try to do a floor 15 run again. And how did it go, Acidic Trauma? I think this is the third wave? Yeah, third wave. That should give us enough tickets to, you know, fully upgrade Heathcliff. Gotta get the Emperor's Groove back on. Gotta get the lusciousness back on his brain. Starting off with completed total extermination. Didn't make it past floor 11. What happened? Floor 15 is not that hard, brother. Unless you're doing it fully adversity, then it's kind of hard. You can't hear the game when I pop up the volume on my end, right? Yeah, I don't see the voice spiking up. Maybe it picks up when I'm actually speaking. There we go. We're full sanity, we're full power, let's go. Fucking flash power. Yeah, if you... The only way you can reduce flash power is certain gift or by lowering their offense level. We're almost done here with the XP gathering. We'll do our ID study and get into the mirror dungeon proper. Today, by the way, we are going to be finishing the Metamorphosis, and then I'm gonna make a single episode break from reading the books and ask everyone if do you really want me to keep going with the book or not? Because I don't check analytics, so I don't know how many people stick around after we finish the dungeon to see their book reading, and I don't know if I'm that good at book reading or not to justify making a whole session out of it. Because, you know, it does consume some real life time. I could be, you know, doing other stuff. Wait, you never made Lunar Memory before? Lunar Memory, assuming you're running with your Grace of the Stars, and even if you're not, Lunar Memory is something that happens by consequence, but congratulations nonetheless. Okay, fourth wave, come on in, come on in. "22 minutes late? Don't worry, you're not late for anything, old Pep. We are just farming XP to level up Ricardo because I forgot I didn't have enough tickets for a full ID level up. Alright. Let's finish this off. Visual XP here, and then we're gonna get to the ID analysis, the team building, and all that good stuff, doing our dungeon. Maybe I'll go to floor 10 because it's fun. And we're gonna finish the Metamorphosis today because we only have a few pages left. So right now we're just chilling, relaxing, seeing how it goes. How was your Thursday? Because someone is not having a good time, but I am having a good time today. I do love the long XP fights. Even though victory is more of a consequence of deploying the right team, it's still fun to do like a long fight and see everyone powered up to the maximum. You want middle platoon to go up to 10, right? Yeah. Shame we never get to see that. Ah, you told us acidic trauma. What happened? Thursday is kind of a bit of a cursed day, in my opinion. It is not a... Thursday stands between Friday and Wednesday. Wednesday you have like the feeling that, we're in the middle of the week, finally. And then you have Friday, which is literally the end of the week, almost the weekend. And then you have Thursday, which is neither. Same for Tuesday. Tuesday is also kind of a cursed day. I too hate rain. Rain sucks. I hate rain. You have no idea how much I despise rain. It's constantly raining in Brazil. Yeah, I despise rain so much. Destruction! Hello, Higno. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're just farming some XP. We're about to get started on our ID study. Hit me. Very nice. I love the middle there. So fun to play. I'm doing great. You know, it's been a nice Thursday, like I said before. It's been alright. Slept a little too late yesterday. Played too much No Man's Sky, which is fun, which I already mentioned here in the stream. But it was alright. Too much coffee. Later today, I'm going to be playing with my friends. I got myself one of my chick cigars to smoke today in honor of the Big Brother being released. Finally, I've been looking so much to get this ID, man. I always like the middle, their whole aesthetics. They're like berserker party boys. I love their aesthetic. They're fun as fuck. We just need to finish these three guys off here, and we are off to ID study and building our team and deploying the mirror dungeon. The middle is really simple to play. That's also why I enjoyed it. And just be purple. Someone is trying to scam. I'll take back something about today being good. I received like 10 calls of people trying to scam me. Let's see. Hello. Hello. It's being non-stop barrage of ads calling me. Hey, you want to buy a new phone? Hey, you want to buy a new phone? Hey, you want to buy a new phone plan? You're paying too much on your phone plan. I know you're paying us, but you want a better phone plan? Nice special hair coupon. Special hair coupon. That's good enough. It's a lot of bang for a buck. I love the long excavations. I hope that's enough to level him up. It could be, right? Yeah, it's on the dot almost, but I like to maximize, so there, that's good enough. All right, he is fully powered, fully leveled, and ready to deploy. First off, I didn't get that great leap. Second, I got a headache. It hurts like hell, and my class is fucking loud. Just made it worse. Take my leg to suck it up. Sorry about that. Big trauma. All right. Let's begin our ID study. We're gonna go from bottom to top. Starting with the bottom, middle little brother, Merceau from Season 3 has 251 HP, 4 to 6 speed, 63 defense level. He is resistant against blunt, but fatal against slash. Let me just open my notepad here to make some notes, because I'm gonna keep some notes, mostly the sin affinities that we have, although we are pretty much a full team with a wide variety of purple colors, so I still gonna keep track of that. Merceau, weak to blunt, No, weak to slash, oddly enough. You'd think that the middle, with all the chains they have around their limbs, they would be resistant to slash, right? But no. He possesses the sin of Sloth, Envy, Wrath with a Envy counter, as pretty much every other unit has. His passive, which I really like his support passive, but let's let Loyalty. It's a 3 Envy owned, apply Vengeance Mark to the unit that dealt the most skill damage to an ally. If the main target has Vengeance Mark, he gains 1 final power. If there is another surviving ally from the middle other than this unit, and the surviving ally from the middle with the least SP, both heal 6 SP at turn end. Pretty much if you're running a middle team, the presence of Mercil guarantees that we are always going to have full sanity. Vengeance Mark is just a mark. Simple as that. So very simple. If someone hits our friends, he gets the mark, and Mercil gets +1 against that character. Skill 1, we remember it's a 3/4/4, a classic 11 roller, but with no escalation. On Clash Lose, he gains Envy damage up. He inflicts bleed with that, so we are a bleed unit. You just mark that down, bleed. So it's very interesting that if we lose a counter, we next turn deal more Envy damage, which is our main source of damage here. Skill 2, Chains of Loyalty, 5/5/4, making this a 14 roller, pretty low, no escalation. Combat start, applies 1 Envy power up to 2 allies adjacent to this unit on the dashboard. Applies 1 Envy damage up as well when selecting ND affinity skills from the affected skill slot. Once again, this is the perfect, most beautiful example of a double OID. He is a support character. He doesn't have the best clashes here. While his skill 1 is a baseline skill 1, as we have seen, it has no power escalation, and his skill 2 rolls below the average for a skill 2, but it is a Envy skill, which is very important for the stint. He supports his teammates by giving them power up on Envy and damage up as well. Skill 3, Recording. It's a 4 base power, 3 coin on 3 coins. 3/3/3, it's a 9, rolling up to a 13. At Envy Resonance, he gains coin power +1, and at 60 Envy Absolute Resonance, 6 Envy Absolute Resonance, he gains coins power +1 as well. I do not know if these stack, but there's nothing here saying that it doesn't stack. So he can get up to 2 additional coin power, making this a 4/5/5/5, making it a 19 roller, which is, again, well below average when it comes to skill 3s. But again, true unit. Let me just make a S3, S2, buff allies, S3, 4, 6 Envy, res for coin power. Got it. So, if it was just by the roll here, this would be a pretty underwhelming skill, but he does have plus coin power drop. Again, incredibly rare. But it only works if the target has Vengeance Mark, so it has to be very focused on the guy that is harassing your team. But as we're gonna see when we get to Sinclair, this one here is very special because Sinclair, if I recall correctly, applies a special mark that acts as the same mark for every middle unit we have. He has plus coin drop and an Envy fragility, and his counter is a 4/4/4, making it a 12 roller with a 63 offense level, which doesn't matter that much except for extra damage, and he gains a coin power on Envy Resonance. So let me write that down for Envy coin power, and it inflicts bleed. Here is very simple, he's very nice, he is a 0/0 unit, there's not much to talk about here. Let's equip some Eagle just to get it going. I don't think we're gonna need it, but it's always nice to have. Here we go. Moving on to Dawn. Dawn is very nice, I like Dawn. She's very cute, she's very adorable, look at that face, look at that smile. Dawn has 264 HP, 4/6 speed, 65 defense level. She is resistant against blunt, but fatal against slash, much like Mercil. So let me write that down. I do believe she is also a bleed unit. I don't really need to pay attention that much to these things because, again, we are going to have a full team. So when one character gets staggered, we will have another character covering up for them. So that's always nice. Anyway, Dawn. She possesses the sins of wrath, envy, pride, and once again a envy counter. The counter. Go. Gotta keep all those notes here on my side. Sorry. Right, let's get down to her passive, Vengeance Tattoo. She gains 1 envy damage up next turn for every time the enemy strike an ally, including his unit, up to 3 times, max 5. No, 3 times, max 5. Apply Vengeance Mark to the unit that dealt the most skill damage to an ally. If the target has Vengeance Mark, she gains Coin Power +1. Coin Power +1 is very nice. So we're not going to even keep track of that. It's automatic. It's very good. Checking the book. A nice 433 11 roller. It heals 5 SP on self on use. Doesn't even have to win the clash. So she has self sanity regeneration here, which is very nice. Inflicts bleed. So we are very much a bleed team, as we already knew that. Skill True, Proof of Loyalty, has a 4 base power with 6 coin power with 2 coins. 2 coins makes it a 12 roller with an additional 4. It's a 16 roller, which is average for our skills too. Combat Start. This skill gains offense level by the highest absolute resonance divided by 2 up to a maximum of 6. If the highest absolute resonance is Envy, she boosts the offense level gained by the above effect by 50%, rounded down. Gain double the offense level if from the above effect in focus encounters with 7 or fewer participant limits. On hit, inflicts 3 bleed, and on hit, inflicts 1 damage down, which is incredibly rare. Not the craziest thing in the world, but rare nonetheless. Right, so she just gains offense level up by using this on a resonance, which increases her clash power. So she doesn't have escalation of power, but like directly, like enemy has bleed, gain more coin power, but she does have a nice clash power up and damage power up if her offense level exceeds that of the enemy. Skill Tree, a Just Vengeance. It's a 4 base power with 3 coin power with 4 coins, making this a nice 16 roller. Gains offense level by resonance again. If it was envy, gains more. Gains double the offense level resonance in focus encounter with 7 or fewer participant limits. Now this here is the keyword. Gains double the offense level from the above effects in focus encounter with 7 or fewer participant limit. This is a problem because most fights allow you to take more than 5 sinners. So 7 or fewer. Wait, what? I don't understand this one. I'm gonna ignore it for now. Hello G5K, how are you doing? Inflict bleed, and if the target is defeated, one ally with the least SP heals 6 SP on the attack end. So she is very nice. She skill heals a lot, gains a lot of offense level, doesn't have any escalation unfortunately, but that's not the point. We're not going to be using her skill tree. We are going to be using it as a counter on an envy resonance because multifold retribution, her counter exists. It's a 5 base power with 4 coin power featuring 2 coins, making it a 13 roller. At 6 plus sum of envy absolute resonance, she uses a Just Vengeance as a counter. Upon activating the above effect, the skill affinity is changed to envy. Leftmost multifold retribution is activated first, activate 2 times per turn. Lowers the user's stagger threshold by 5 and lowers the user's stagger threshold by 5. So every time she counters normally, she will be becoming harder and harder to stagger, and multifold retribution on a 6 envy resonance becomes a Just Vengeance. But it is purple, so it's going to get that offense level up boost a lot, and it's going to be a one-sided attack too, so it's incredibly powerful. That is the middle little sister Don Quixote. Very powerful. I have videos of me clearing floor 10 with her and Merso together, so it's very good. It's very good. I recommend it. I like it. I don't see what people say the middle is weak. Maybe they are weak, but in any case. Moving on to the middle little brother Sinclair. I've already reviewed this AD in the past. I will review it quickly now again. The middle little brother Sinclair has 275 HP, 4 to 6 speed, 65 defense level. He is resistant against blunt, but fatal against pierce. And indeed, he has a lot of pierce skills. So let me just mark him down his weaknesses. He is also a bleed unit. He is weak to pierce, unlike the other two, and resistant strong versus blunt, unlike the other two. Ah, congratulations, OG5K. Those are some very good chart pages you got there. His passive, the middle never forgets. When hit by an enemy, he inflicts 5 Vendetta mark against the target or part once per turn. Vendetta mark, consumed by certain skills or passives, take 2% more damage from the middle identity for every stack. This unit has the highest stack or this effect gains 1 sibling vengeance mark next turn, counted separately from vengeance mark. If more than a single unit has the highest stack with this effect target one that has the higher HP percentage. When another ally is hit by an enemy, they gain inflict 2 Vendetta mark against the attacker. If said ally from the middle inflicts an additional 3, so 5. Attack end with base attack skills or counter skill consumes all Vendetta mark on the target. Every time the target consumes Vendetta mark, gains Book of Vengeance Sinclair equal to the amount consumed. In other words, here is how it works. Whenever Sinclair gets hit or an ally gets hit, they gain a little mark. When Sinclair attacks anyone that has this little mark, he consumes the mark and turns it into Book of Vengeance Sinclair. Book of Vengeance Sinclair increases his damage and gives him various buffs. So as he's literally scales up as he is fighting. The more people get hit and the more he gets hit, the more powerful he becomes, because that's just how the middle operates. That's how the middle works. At 10 stacks, you gain a blunt damage up, and since all his attacks are blunt, that's just 10% flat damage for everything. At 20 stacks, he gains speed and power up, and at 30 stacks, he gains additional true blunt damage up. And I do believe you gain all of these bonuses. It's not like one and then the other and then the other. You gain all of them if you're at 30 stacks. He becomes very, very powerful. Skill 1, it is a 3/4/4 and 11 roller with a 62 offense level. Something you might have been noticing now is that, remember how I said offense levels and defense levels are used to defer whenever a character is a DPS or a tank? You will notice that all of the middle IDs that we have seen so far, all of them have high defense levels and above average offense levels. They are tanky and they are damaging. They are very powerful. They have always been very powerful. In any case, if the target has 6 bleed, he gains coin power +1. So we have 1 level of escalation here, turning this into a 13 roller. He gains aggro on himself, heals SP. At max SP, he gains clash power instead, and he inflicts bleed. Skill 2, payback with interest. 4 base power, 4 coin power, 3 coins. So that's 4, 8, 12, and then 16, with a 63 offense level. Again, as a coin escalation of 1, if the target has 6 bleed, turning this into a 4, 5, 5, 5, turning it into a 19 roller, which is exceptionally powerful for a skill 2. Combat start. This unit gains highest resonance divided by 2 offense level, max 3 rounded down. If the set resonance includes an absolute resonance, double the offense level gained from the above effect. So not only are we gaining more clash power by increasing our offense level, we are also dealing more damage. Remember, offense levels equates to more damage dealt, and by every 3 level of offense level difference between you and the target of your clash, that is 1 clash power extra. So the fact that we gain this by doing resonance, which we are going to be doing all the time, means that we are gaining clash power naturally. On hit, it inflicts 3 bleed, and at 3+ resonance, that includes the skill, he deals more damage on top of all the extra damage that we gain. They're not fast because they're packing an extra punch in their strength and durability. Sort of, they are pretty fast. They have 4 to 6 speed, which is nothing to scoff at. The lowest speed for them is 4, and I don't remember the speed for Dawn. Yeah, 4, 6, 4, 6. Yeah, they're all pretty much the same because it doesn't matter because they're going to be using counters, and with their counters, they don't really need to attack first. They will attack right after they attack us. And finally, his skill 3. It's a 5 base power with 4 coin power, featuring 3 coins and 64 offense level. 5, 4, 4, 4. We have 4, 8, 12, and then a 17 with our base power. Deals more damage for every Book of Vengeance to a maximum of 30. Gains a coin power for every 6 bleed on target with a max of 2, turning this into a 5, 5, 5, and then a 5, 6, 6, 6, which is very nice. Turning this attack into a 20, and then into a 23. If said has the offense level power up from resonance, inflicts damage, inflicts bleed, deals 5% more damage for every resonance. That includes this skill, maximum of 30%. Deals 15% more damage for every 10 Book of Vengeance Sinclair, max of 45%. So he just massively gains a shit ton of damage buffs. Like a shit ton. Not only we have Vendetta Mark that makes the target takes more damage, up to 20%. We have the Book of Sinclair that gives him 30% more damage. Sorry, 60% more damage, because it's the blunt damage up that he gains from the 30 stacks, and plus more damage based on the stack, which doesn't decay, by the way. This is permanent. His skill tree deals more damage on a resonance and for every Book of Sinclair on himself. I'm not even gonna count. I'm not gonna do the math on this. He just gains insane amounts of damage on his skill tree. Defense. His counter is a 5 base power with 4 coin power featuring 2 coins, making it a nice little 13 roll. Combat start. The skill behavior changes based on the Sun of Envy Absolute Resonance. At 4 Absolute Resonance, he uses his skill 2. At 6, he uses his skill 3. This can only activate 2 times per turn. Combat start, he gains 30% of missing HP as a shield once per turn. Does Middle Team and Eagle Gift to turn into monsters? They are absolutely going to turn into monsters. In my opinion, the strongest things in the Mirror Dungeon, not talking like the strongest thing, but the strongest things out of all the things are any team that have gifts related to their own faction. This is why I like running teams that are, you know, focused. They have their own team, they have their own mechanics, and they work really well together. Right, let's move on from him and on to Ishmael. Let's just get some eagles out of the way first. Hexnail, Harmony, and the only wall he has. We'll take Cavernous Wailing because that gives us shields, and it's always very good. In any case, House of Spiders Middle Apprentice Ishmael. Launched together on Canto 9, Season 7. She has 275 HP, 4 to 7 speed, 64 defense level. She is weak to pierce, but resistant against blunt. She possesses the sin of Lust, Wrath, and Envy, a recurring theme in our team here, as you can see. Her unique passives, she has 2. First one is Thermal Weapons. This unit is considered as an entity that inflicts burn and bleed. If this unit has Thermal Blades, a skill that inflicts bleed are considered skills that inflict both burn and bleed. Thermal Blade. Max stack of 2, if the target hit by base attack skills with burn, heals 3 SP, inflicts burn when inflicting bleed with certain coins, and loses 1 stack per turn. We pretty much have this turned on permanently, so don't worry about it. The middle never forgets, you know, is her passive at 3 owned Envy. Turn end inflicts 1 vengeance mark to the enemy that does the most skill damage to an ally. Every time this unit is hit by an enemy, she gains 2 grudges, 2 times per turn. When another middle faction ally is hit by an enemy, she gains 1 grudge, once per turn per identity. If the target that attacked this unit or an ally has Vengeance Mark, gains 1 more grudge. If the dashboard has an Envy Absolute Resonance, double the amount of middle grudge gained this turn. What is the grudge? I don't know. The grudge has a maximum stacks of 50 and she deals more damage against targets that have the Vengeance Mark. As long as she has 1 stack of that, there's no escalation. But there is a reason why it only goes to 15 stacks. When she uses her skill tree, she consumes her grudges into tattoos. And tattoos have a max stack of 10. Final power +1 for basic skills for every 5 stacks. Envy skills and blunt skills deals more damage for every stack, and it goes up to 10. So we can only do this consumption of grudges twice per turn, and so we can do this more than 10. So we technically need 5 perfect turns to gain maximum tattoos, because we can only convert 2 tattoos per turn, assuming you have 10 grudges. So in 5 turns, theoretically, we could have all of our tattoos ready to roll. Combat start. If this unit does not have Thermal Blade, then at 3+ Envy Resonance, she gains 2 Thermal Blade next turn. Combat start. If this unit has Thermal Blades, gain Envy Resonance divided by Thermal Blades by 3 Thermal Blades at turn end, maximum of 2. And like I said, we're going to be doing Envy Resonance all the time, so we are going to have this passive permanently on. Moving on to her skill 1. Totally Badass Kicking. Badass ass kicking, sorry. It's a 3 base power with a 4 coin power, 2 coins, classic 11 roller. If the target has summation of burn bleed, she gains another coin power, turning this into a 13 roller, so she has one level of escalation on her attack. She inflicts bleed, and if she has thermal blades, inflicts burn, deals blunt bonus damage. If this unit has the middle style documentation tattoos, she inflicts bleed count, which is something we do not get in any of the other IDs, I am fairly sure. We all just inflict normal bleed, we do not have bleed count. This is not a high bleed team. We are a blunt envy team disguised as a bleed team. So really, she's the only one that can apply bleed count as far as we have seen. Yep, only bleed count. Anyway. Skill 2. Crossing Dervish, a 4 base power with 4 coin power, 3 coins. Making this a 4, 8, 12, 16 roller. If the target has 6 burn and bleed, a summation of burn and bleed, sorry, she gains 1 coin power, turn this into a 4, 5, 5, 5, and 19 roller. The skill gains offense level by highest resonance divided by 2. If there was an absolute resonance in the chain, double the amount of offense level gained. Gains aggro. If she has Thorough Blade, the first and second coin inflicts burn by the base amount of bleed the skill inflicts. On the second hit, she inflicts bleed count. And on the third coin, she deals bonus damage, and she inflicts paralysis and blind as long as she has a single tattoo. Tattoos do not decay, by the way, they are permanent. So the middle really benefits from long fight. But, you know, they're kind of like a charge team, similar. But their charge doesn't go away, you know? You don't consume your charges. Finally, her skill 3, Violet Breaking Slam. 4 base power, 3 coin power, 4 coins. 3, 6, 9, 12, 16 with the base power. It has 1 level of escalation, turning this all into 4 coins. So 4, 8, 16, and then 20 roll. Combat start gains offense level by resonance. If there was an absolute resonance, gains more offense level. Deals burn if it has thermal blades. Final power +1 for every 5 middle grudge on self. Maximum of 3. Once the attack ends, she consumes all of the grudges on herself. If this skill was activated as a counter skill, she gains blunt damage up next turn. We inflict bleed, bleed count, deal bonus damage by our envy resonance, and inflict more bleed. Finally, the defense. It's pretty much the same as Dawn and Sinclair. If we got a resonance going on of 6 or more, we are going to use our skill tree again. 4 base power, 5 coin power, true coins, making this a 14 ruler. It's unopposed because it's a counter, right? And she gains shield based on her missing HP, lower her stagger threshold, and inflicts bleed. And of course, if we have a 6+ envy resonance, we just use our skill tree, so we don't benefit from this. But combat start, we gain that shield, which is very important. I think it's fair that they have a low bleed count, and some of them have great scaling. They have fantastic scaling. The bleed is there is just as a bonus, so they have a keyword, you know? Because after all, blunt is a keyword technically, but not really. So, middle brother, the man himself, enter. What's the other one? I kind of prefer this one. Enter the middle big brother himself. Finally, he's here. Here we go. 282 HP, 4 to 6 speed, 65 defense level. He is fatal to slash, but resistant against blunt. He possesses the sin of wrath, envy, 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 and more envy. Skill passive, the Book of Vengeance. When this unit or any of the middle faction allies are hit by an enemy, inflict 1 vendetta mark on the said enemy and gain 1 of Book of Vengeance Heathcliff. So he applies the same bonus, same mark as Sinclair. But he has the Book of Vengeance Heathcliff. He gains 1 offense level, 1 defense level for every 5 stacks, and he has 30 stacks maximum, so he gains up to 6 offense level and 6 defense level. Ally death, he gains 3 book immediately, which we are not going to let that happen. Turn start. At 15+, Vengeance Tattoo, apply the following effect. What is Vengeance Tattoo before we progress? Well, I'm glad you asked. Base skills deal 1% more damage for every stack. Right. Replace a base skill with Complete and Total Extermination. Prioritize the skill on the leftmost slot of bottom row of the dashboard. If the replaced skill becomes inaccessible due to being replaced by a different skill, activate the effect of the above effect again. Change the battle music until turn end, excluding certain encounters. Combat start. In the turn this unit substituted in or returned to the field, use my hair coupons on a random target. Attack end on the said skill. Will apply one offense level up and one defense level up and one defense level up to the middle faction ally. This is just automatic. You don't need anything to make this work. Ah, Heathcliff is here. We're just reading about you. Vengeance Tattoo Resonance. Again, this requires no sins to activate. It just works. Combat start. The middle faction allies that have equipped defense skills take negative 20% damage from unopposed attacks this turn. Combat start. At 4+ envy resonance, the middle faction allies adjacent to this unit on the dashboard cannot be staggered by damage as long as they have as long as they have usable counter skills equipped in their slots, excluding for staggers. At 6+ envy resonance, this effect applies to all the middle faction allies. Since we are going to be activating resonance all of the time, our team is effectively unstaggerable. Ding! And finally, the active skill. The Big Brother. Combat start. He gains 1 Vengeance Tattoo for every envy resonance, maximum of 7. If an enemy attacked any of the middle faction allies, including this unit, use kicking on the said enemy as an unopposed attack at the attack end of the said enemy skill once per turn. Ah, welcome back, Kurokumo Heathcliff. I do love punishing the enemy for attacking us. He has a support skill, Chains of Loyalty. If any of the middle faction allies are killed during combat this turn, all the middle factions gain 1 attack power this turn, and next turn once per turn. We're not going to be using this because why would we? In any case, skill 1, let's take a look. Kicking. A true base power with 3 coin power, 62 offense level, blunt wrath skill. 3, 3, 6, then 9 with the true. It's a classic 11 roller. If the target has Sum of Burn and Bleed, he gains above 6, he gains a coin power, so we have a level of escalation here, turning that nice 11 roller into a nice 14 roller. If the target has Vengeance Tattoo, final power +1, making the skill reach 15. Gains aggro on the slot next turn. Point. The aggro kind of fucks up some things in the team building because we need our units to get hit. So if you're getting aggroed, that means our units don't get to get hit to use their counters. So in any case, on hit, he lowers his own stagger threshold by 5, and if the target has Vengeance Mark, that's 3 SP. Inflicts Bleed Burn and Bleed Burn. No counts, just Bleed Burn. No, it's not weird at all, Heathcliff. No one wants to watch their family get hurt unless your family is a bunch of psychopaths or something like that. It varies from family to family. Skill 2, Watch Your Back. A 4 base power with 4 coin power and 3 coins. 4, 4, 8, 12, and 16. Baseline for a skill 2 nowadays. If the target has 6 plus Sum of Burn and Bleed, he gains another coin power, turning this into a 4, 5, 5, a 19 roller. Combat start applies true offense level up to allies adjacent to this unit. This skill gains highest resonance divided by true offense level to a maximum of 3. If the target has Vengeance Mark, final power +2, making this a nice 21. Inflicts burn, inflicts bleed. Ah, now we're inflicting bleed count and burn count. Very nice. Inflicts bleed, inflicts paralysis, and inflicts burn. Very nice. Skill 3, My Hair Coupons and its enhanced form. My Hair Coupons, 10 base power with a 12 coin power unbreakable coin, making this a 22, which is higher than average for certain skill trees. It gains final power for every 4 Sum of Burn and Bleed on target to a maximum of 3, being able to gain up to 3 extra power. Final power +1 for every true envy resonance to a maximum of 3, being able to gain 3 power, so we can gain extra 6 power on that 22 roller, making it a 28 roller. The skill gains highest resonance offense level maximum of 6. If the main target has Vengeance Mark, that's an additional final power +2. At 6th envy resonance gains attack weight. At 20 Book of Vengeance, gain 1 attack weight. Deals 60% more damage for every excess attack weight beyond the number of actual targets. For every enemy killed using the skill, gains Vengeance Tattoo. Now remember, we only gain Book of Vengeance by when our allies get hit. We don't actually generate this in any other way except for an ally death. So we can only use our hair coupons at maximum power, which is at 20, after our allies get hit 20 times. Got it. And finally, inflicts bleed, burn, and deals extra damage as blunt bonus damage based on our resonance. Finally, complete and total extermination. 16 base power, 10 coin power, unbreakable, 66 offense level, and 3 attack weight, 26 roller. External effects cannot trigger the skill to be reused. Deals 1% more damage for every 1% missing HP on self, maximum of 30%. Final power +1 for every 4 burn and bleed on target, maximum of 5, making this a 31 roller. Gains offense level based on our resonance. If the target has vengeance mark, that's additional final power +3, so we are gaining 8 power here. 20 Book of Vengeance, attack weight +1, deals extra damage if you're attacking a single target. For every enemy killed in Ego, we gain Ego resources, and it consumes 15 Vengeance tattoos. If the target is staggered, deals 20% more damage, inflicts bleed, burn, tremor, trigger tremor burst, and deals an extra damage based on our envy resonance. Oh boy, that's a very powerful skill. Oh. So +8 power here, turning this into a 34 roller, I believe. No, we are 26, 31, and then 34 roller, plus whatever the offense level is gonna give us on Clash. 34 roller, wow, that's And finally, the payback. A 5 base power with 4 coin power counter with 63 offense level. At 6 envy resonance, he uses my hair coupon instead. Activates from the leftmost skill. Heals envy resonance +3 SP for every middle faction allies that have the lowest SP, including this unit. Gains 25% missing HP as a shield. Very basic, very simple. It's very powerful. Unfortunately, we do not gain any resources from using my hair coupons because we want to get Book of Vengeance and Vengeance tattoos after all. So we gain Vengeance tattoos by envy resonance, so maximum of 7 resonance, that's our limit. So I'm gonna mark that down as a magic number. 7 resonance for Vengeance tattoo. And we only gain our Book of Vengeance when our allies get hit. All right, and there we have it. The middle, we took a nice good look at that, and we can already tell this is going to be easy. We're probably going to spend more time talking about than actually doing the mirror dungeon. Let's prepare a team to support them somehow, right? So we are bleed, burn, and more bleed. And we have tremor on a little top of it. We could take Efflorus Spicebush Yiseng. It's the slough resonance. Do we have slough enough for a slough resonance? Although we do have slough, we shouldn't be using slough resonance, so we're not. Efflorus Spicebush Yiseng would give us more damage on our AoEs, which would be very nice, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case. Let's see. Sanity heal enemies with bleed, which would be very nice, but the middle already handles its own sanity regeneration, so we really don't need it. How about the Leo Association subsection for burn? Allies 3 allies less speed, basically burn. This is just for SP, so we really don't have a good option here. Pick what first mate would give us bleed if we have poison. You think it's kind of left out here, I'm gonna be honest. None of his passives are very good to support us. Maybe the House of Spiders can support us somehow? Let's see. Deals slash personal used for the first time by any ally each turn. Because yeah, that's not very good. I don't know how Yiseng can help us, actually. I don't think he can. Yeah, no, Yiseng is going to be left out of the family. He is going to go fishing. Faust, how can you help us? We are bleed. I am tempted to take this because when allies that equip defense skill on their slot this turn inflict 4 bleed on the attacker 2 times per turn. If the attacker already has bleed count instead. This one is a no-brainer. We use counters and we use a lot of them. Ryoshu, how can you help us? We are bleed and we are burn. A little bit of burn. We could take Lobotomy Eagle Red Eyes Penitent for a little bit of healing. It's 3 HP at combat start. It's not very good, honestly. We could take, and Corp can take this one. It is a Lust Resonance. We have some Lust, but we're not going to be using it. But it would be nice to inflict additional bleed and additional tremor. But no. Kurokumo Clan Wakashu would give us more bleed. Who else? Heisho Pack Mao Branch. I do believe it's more haste. This is shield. This is strange. Liu Association, maybe? Ally with a slow speed if it's an enemy that has burn. Inflict 3 burn on 2 random enemies once per turn. I mean, we do have some burn, so we can spread the burn around. Yeah, let's go with burn. Honglu, how can you help us? We could always take the classic for more damage. We don't have Gluttony Resonance to get the super healing here. Gluttony Resonance, I mean. Kurokumo Clan Wakashu also gives us more bleed compared to more damage. I think I'm gonna take the damage, honestly. We can also take District 20 Euro Div, but it's a Sloth Resonance, so no. We could also take the Hook Off Fixer, which we played, it was very fun. That we can get an attack power up. One attack power up compared to 20% more damage on head coins. I think I'm going with Gambler Honglu. What can you do? He has such a good passive. Rhodia might just stay as she is because extra damage is always extra nice. Let's see what, but before we throw her under the other IDs under the bus, let's see what she has to offer us. Tremor Charge, if I recall. And the slow speed trigger tremor charge for whole base. Yeah, no, that's very good. This one is shield based on poise on a Wrath Resonance. This is shield on this card. Gains 1 damage on next turn based on the damage they took this turn. Oh no, actually, we're gonna take this one. Whew. Let's see. One ally with the highest max HP gains blunt damage up next turn based on the damage they took this turn. 2 damage included in the calculation. Max health when taking damage equal to 15% of max HP at turn start. Max blunt damage up gained by this effect 30. We can gain up to 30% by taking damage, or we can deal 20% more damage by just existing. Sorry, that's not gonna happen. Allies speed deals pierce damage. We don't do pierce damage. Yeah, it's gonna be base Rhodia again. Stinkler is actually going to be on the fight now, so there's no need for him. For Otis, now that's interesting. We have the Barber of Lamanchaland with a bleed. One ally with a fast speed if the enemy is killed by attack and heals 10 HP. And ally with a fast speed if the enemy is killed by attack and take 1 bleed count when inflicting bleed with the skill respond effect. Next turn, 3 times per turn. We could take her, but I am more liable to take extra damage again. Let's see. This gives us protection, this one gives clash, this one requires a resonant, this one is a meme, this one is for self-tremor, dodging, thinking. Clash partner ally that has the most speed when clashing against anyone that has left 25. It's garbage. Ring points. I see someone talking about the ring pointless. Why would you take her? It's SP heal against an enemy that has bleed. Let's take random buffs, honestly, because this one can actually power up our defense power up. So yeah. Hello, Josette. We don't have less resources, but we can generate less resources with ego gifts, and it's owned. One thing that I always need to pay attention to, if it is a resonance and your team does not have resonance, the passive will never activate. But if it is owned on the mirror dungeon at least, and in some stages as well that we gain ego resources, you can activate it. I can activate it if you get an ego resource generating ego gift. So anyway, let's take random buffs, honestly. And finally, Gregor. Yeah, I'm liable to put you on the healing duty again because the Fire Fist, Blunt, Protection, defense level up. Lobotomy Eagle Lamp is aggro blunt damage up next turn, but we require a Wrath Resonance, so we're going to be doing Envy all the time. Let's take the healer. All right, this is our team. Since we have a lot of combatants today, there's not a lot in the way of passives. The only passives that are worthwhile talking about is the House of Spiders Albina, because she is going to give us a nice buff. Ryoshu is also kind of an outlier. She is mostly here to help us spread burn. Ting Tang Honglu is giving us more damage, as well as Rhodia. We have random buff machine and HP healer here. Yeah, it's not a constant, so I'm gonna throw it because it's not reliable. What do you mean? We are guaranteed to get at least one ego resource generating ego gift along the way, so we're gonna get it. It's activated once and it's over and done with. All right, let's deploy. I am running low on Starlight, as per usual. We're gonna be taking Favorite Nebulae. We could take Starlight Guidance. Yeah, we have the freebies to use. Right, we are going to be specializing in blunt damage because they're all blunt. We're gonna take today's expression. And for our starter gifts, we actually can skip taking starter gifts unless I want to skip I could take these here. Where is it? Where's Thermoblade? The bleed? Yeah, I could take these to skip through packs that are annoying, but that's gonna cost me some very good Starlight. You know what? Fuck that. We're gonna go without gift. We gotta go balls out. We have a powerful team. We have no need for gifts starting out. But we do have a planned route where we want to take. We want to take the Nocturnal Sweeping Bakyak, Turno and Bakyak, Charm, Wonder, and something from Canto 9. And there was another one I wanted to take that I'm not remembering right now. Yeah, I'll remember. Automated Factory, because it has unique gifts. All right. Let me sit my ass down here. Let me clear the selection. 1, 2, 3. No. You're going to be the last one deployed. I said you're the last one. You're not technically part of the family, but you are. There is Tishmo skill 1. Yes, there's also that. It's not going to be a skill that you don't have the Sin Resonance Sin Generation. A passive on which you do not have the Sin Generation is only reliable on the first floors. Come on, hit us. We're right here. Hit me. Ah, you hit me. All right, gaining Book of Vengeances. Hit me, I say. I'm gonna get myself water. Be right back. Be right back.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어갔군. 그래. 딱 반쯤 죽여버려. 13조 2항에 맞추게. 그게 체격이지.
한 줄 그치?
나그 의식 불명. 좋아, 한 줄 지워주지. 거창해.
이 정도 이벤트는 보여줘야지.
나도 녹이면서 될
There we go. I'm back. Right, just eliminate these fools for me, my middlings. I am so happy to have Big Brother Ricardo. I wanted him as an ID ever since we got him the first time. It was fake that he was going to be Heathcliff, because someone pointed out on the Dawn uptie for the middle that that the Big Brother on her uptie was talking in a very British accent. And hey, we got this clips of Scarlet Moths. Very nice. I like that. All right. So you might be noticing that I'm not counting our pages acquired today, simply because we are going to finish the Metamorphosis after stream today. So it's irrelevant how many nodes we do this time. We're not going to give you the chance to hit us this time.
이거 분강 맞지?
Alright, since we are done, we're now running on automatic. We're on cruise control for cool and vengeance. I am going to light up my cigar and have a good time,
이항에 맞추려.
as I usually smoke, either on weekends or when it's update day. Update day. Well, technically yesterday, but today, same thing.
잘했다.
만큼은 못하지만
마무리까지 끝나면 너희 안가품
Oh,
정부에
let's see.
특별히 한정판 고양이 스티커를 붙여주기.
How many pages are left in the Metamorphosis? About 10, maybe, something like that. Not a lot. We're gonna finish it today.
좋아.
And by the way, we're fast approaching the 100 subscribers. I gotta prepare that video like I've been promising. And I haven't gotten started on it, but I will, I promise. Very thankful for having 100 subscribers. Now, probably 100 people would say, hey, I want to watch your garbage on the internet. But here we are.
중주의 안가품이 그저 무력 행사뿐이라고 생각합니다. 원한을 풀 수 있다는 수단을 가릴 이유는 없지.
I was thinking about something today. I do the mirror dungeon every day, and some people say that mirror dungeon is very boring, very repetitive, and I'm liable to agree with them. It is kind of repetitive, and I realize why it is repetitive. You see, dungeons, when we get them on Kantos, they have unique layouts and unique paths you can take, while the mirror dungeon is always this. Also, why does it loop here? The mirror dungeon is always this sequence of like go up, down here. There is no uniqueness, there's no layout, there is no unique events that open up a different path with more rewards or just screw you over. Because if you recall back to the dungeon in Tinkler's Canto, there are a bunch of events that you could do that would open up a secret path or anything. Because the game was very inspired by Darkest Dungeon back then, it still kind of is. And this is something I would fix in the mirror dungeon to make it feel less repetitive. Have randomly generated layouts that you can take, like it's a fortress, it's the back streets or whatever that we're exploring, and have the map actually looks like a map, you know? So you can encounter and like say I start here, then I go here, and then I go here, and then there's a door I can open that loops me back here, and then I can go back, you know, like a board game of sorts. I think that would fix the problem with the repetitiveness of the game. We're gonna kill you. Oh wait, I killed I pressed the wrong button. Whoops, he escaped because I didn't pay attention. He escaped the middle for just a little bit, buddy. And the rest of him. Can't upgrade nothing, can't upgrade nothing. No problem. So anyway, imagine if you have actual dungeons, you know, even if they were a few patterns to begin with, it would be more interesting than the mirror dungeon we do every time. You have literal paths you can take with unique events that say, this gate is blocked, someone has to open it, who's gonna try it? I think that would be like the optimal way to, you know, work with a mirror dungeon repetitiveness that people complain about. Or maybe a different game mode in the future. Maybe like, better yet, keep the mirror dungeon as it is, ego gift and all, but create a new, I don't know, how do you say it? Oh yeah, I think they don't make it something similar because some packs have mixed enemies from different countries, but it would be good. Yeah, they do choose enemies that fit the dungeon, the theme of the pack, you know? So maybe you could just play around that, keep the same background. But here's what I think. Keep the mirror dungeon as is. It is our grind central and all that. Create a new dungeon type that has high rewards, but you don't have save spots. You know, like you have to find a rest spot to recover sinners and health. You have little to no ego gifts. They're extremely rare, and the enemies are all at your level or stronger. So it is an actual hard dungeon mode where if you lose the sinner, you're gonna have to cope with the loss that you lost the sinner and move forward. Highly punishing events are highly rewarding and things like that, you know, a proper dungeon, and you only get the rewards once you clear it. Alright, Hurtley, I'm sorry to hurt you, but I'm gonna have to hurt you. I don't gotta load up on my map image right now, but fuck it, I'll do it. Hold on, let me find one.
이러면 아무것도 못하지.
Project Moon TRPG. Axe. None of it matters. No. Yeah, I'll go with this one. Fuck, where's my maps? Bloody maps, dungeon, generic maps, dungeon graph, district map, bloody map. I'm not gonna find it right now, but I want to put like a little map on the screen so you have the idea what I'm talking about. But I think we had like unique layout for every dungeon with unique challenges for every pack. That would help making things feel fresh for longer. Because in one opportunity you're exploring the pack dungeon, you are forced to go through a path because it didn't pass a certain check, and you have more difficult fights in that one. Sometimes the path lock behind you, so you can't walk back and try a different path or things like that. Because I've been looking at my footage to see how is it going and all that, and it doesn't feel like we're exploring a dungeon. We're just going along a railroad, you know? Maybe that works because Mephistopheles is supposed to be a train boss, and we do have the railways. Railways? Yeah, railways. My hair coupons. Right, win rate. We are about to end here. I'm liable to go deeper into the dungeon today, just in honor of Ricardo Cliff here. But I did promise with my friends that I'm gonna play a Biotic Factor with them later, so I might leave the Extreme Dungeon later on this weekend because we have the Reflect Trial this weekend. We have actually many things to do this weekend. We're gonna have the tabletop on this Saturday if my friend does not reschedule, and we're gonna have Reflect Trial as well. Jesus Christ, I realized I already reached 99 burn potency enemy in the first floor. Yeah, we also have a few gifts for burn, so... And these enemies just take a lot of damage. Because we literally have true burn gifts. Yeah, they don't have good count application, they just do extra damage there. One of them died. Oh, I just realized he puts down the sunglasses when he uses the big skill. Oh, that is so nice. Explode. He puts down the sunglasses. Ah, that is gonna be fun. Ah, that's useless. Right, let's take lowest star and the haunted shoes. Who's gonna be putting the shoes? Right, next one. We're not still out in the level for pack searching because there is 3 packs we have to go specifically. So give me a refresh. None of these are good. Shard disc is very nice because of the offense level down, but it means fighting the fucking townspeople. They take a long time. You could also take this for extra damage. Let's go over here. Hello, Corn Muncher. How you doing? Again, imagine if you have like actual places to go here. Instead of like the same old. Oh well, we can go into elite nodes now. Finally, we're no longer paying like a team with less slots, so we can go without fear to elite nodes. Vengeance has come, fucking Rose Penner Workshop. Your end is here, and it's purple. Hit me! I dare you!
내가 왔다. 털만한 것들.
Ooh, we have 10 grudges. We're ready to use our special then.
하나만큼은
Right? Let's see. Where is you? There we go. Beep, beep.
여기 좀 낫나?
Dun, dun, dun. No one stagger. All right, please, please keep hitting us. I want you to hit me.
그래. 딱
Give me your best shot.
분노 게이지
3조 2항에 맞추려면 그게 세경이.
발렛
Goodbye.
슬램
이번에는 제대로 들어갔군.
털만한 것들.
Oh god, they deal so much damage together.
거쳐내.
그래. 이 정도 이벤트는 보여줘야지.
좋아. 장부에서 샀지.
하품이 다 나는군. 슬슬 지루하니까 빨리 끝내버리는 게 좋겠어.
All right.
불에 적지마. 난
I think he's dead. I think the real life counterpart of this mirror dungeon individual is dead on the city right now. All right, see what I mean? Heathcliff, here it is. That one went into my little booklet of grudges. It's not unreliable because you are guaranteed to get a ego resource generating ego gift in the dungeon very early, and that is more than enough to activate every single passive that we have that we don't generate the resources for. Grudge done. Should we kill this guy? You know what? Fuck it. I fought him only once.
하나씩 차근차근 그어서
Oh, he has unbreakable coins. That's right. I fought him like only once. I don't remember what he does. So we're gonna remember real nice right now. Big slot, huh?
끝나고 나서 고래구이 파티를 열어주겠다고 하니 의욕이 좀 났나?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
내가 왔다.
얼마나지?
I really like this song, by the way. The one from La Mancha Land. It feels very eerie, very creepy. Oh no, you have shot me.
저리 꺼져.
Yes, hit me so I can get my grudges.
창부에 적힌 놈들은 볼 때마다 기가 막혀.
Let's get the purple
우리
going.
중지가 엄지처럼 엄격한 거, 검지처럼 이해할 수 없는 걸 요구하는 것도 아닌데 말이지.
I am not reading your kit. I am going to become purple and then you are going to die. Hey, how's it going there, there, shooty man? How's that gun treating you? How's that devil pact?
아, 의식 불명. 좋아. 한 줄 지워주지.
Oh no.
하품이 다 나네. 슬슬
We have full
지루하니까
purple.
빨리 끝내버리는 게 좋겠어.
Well, almost full purple.
거쳐내. 새겨주지.
좋아. 이번에는
Oh, his
제대로
egg is cool as fuck. I love Ricardo Cliff just doing the finisher blow after the enemy is staggered like that. Alright, that guy's an absolute pushover. This is the range skull. I can sell this at least. And here we go. Pick it up.
제가 누구 딸인데 이런 걸 못하겠어요.
To be pierced.
4, 3, 1, 시작.
You again?
72조
All right.
3만 4야.
I see you're eager for that, huh?
시술로 금지를
그래.
위협했으니
내가
때까지
왔다.
참아줘야 할 거다.
나가봐라.
그래.
Ah, the middle is so much fun to play, man.
13조
Even before Ricardo, because they were already fun. It's nagging. I need a little booklet of vengeance to write that down. I really need to find whoever said that the middle were bad in the mirror dungeon, like before Ricardo Cliff and all the gifts, because I never had issues using the middle and the mirror dungeon before. Right, consume your grudges, Ishmael.
발렛 브레이크.
Breako Slam!
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
일어나. 아직 11번을 죽어야 한다고.
Nice attack there, buddy. You did good. Basically, if there's no need for that.
되겠냐고요.
Nice. So one thing that we can confirm from Ricardo Cliff Uptie is the way he acts and the music he plays all the time isn't a constant among the middle. It is just his way of doing things. Right, let's get Rusted Muzzle. Tangled Bundle. And Melted Parapet, why not? Apologies. More purple on our purple? Yes, I do love purple. Purple, things become purple. Let's try to get the Book of Vengeance right now, so we get a little bit of a power up. This, put this, and we can sacrifice the shoes. Yeah, sure, it's 1 damage with power up. Nah, let's sacrifice Eclipse. And Book of Vengeance! It begins! You know what? Hold on. How do I see my ego? Let's read exactly what it does together. Blunt base attack skills gain clash power +2. On combat start, gain defense level up equal to the number of identities who are using blunt base attack skills this turn. Allies with blunt attack type for all of their base attack skills gain 2 blunt damage up at turn start, except for empowered skill or skill that is a condition. When using a counter skill, except power counters, it gains 7.5 of this unit's backed HP as shield and deal 20% more damage. Cannot be staggered by damage when using a counter skill. Once per identity, per encounter. At turn start, the middle identities gain 1 blunt power up, 2 defense power up. When the middle identity uses a counter skill, the above counter skill enhancement activates twice per encounter and deals 40% damage instead. So, remember how I said they were always strong? This is what I mean. By just having a fusible at any point gift, even if you didn't have Ricardo, even if you didn't have Ishmael, even if you didn't have Sinclair, the 2 original middle IDs, Dawn and Mirso, they could do well. A single gift made them good. That's it. That's all you needed. And you were done. They could not be staggered by damage. They would still suffer from stuff like bleed and all that, but that's so everyone else. Counter that umbrella.
그래. 딱 반쯤 죽여버려.
Counter that umbrella.
13조 이하를 맞추려면 그게 체격이.
되겠냐고요.
We have full grudges. Nice.
얼마만큼은
웃기는
못하지만
자식.
나도
끝나고
목이
나서 고래
We got the Violet Breaking Slang coming out.
여기 좀 났나?
Here we go.
저 부숴줄 테다.
이거 건강문제. 야, 필살. 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램.
The only downside of the middle that I would say that for you to get your maximum power out and running, you do need to take some hits. That's the caveat. But since they have counters, which means you're going to take the hit and hit very hard right after, it's not really a problem. You just need to manage your HP well.
나참 주먹질만 한다고 능사가 아니야. 발길질도 섞어야지. 한 놈의 죽음.
All right, let's kill it.
죄가 너무 크고.
Which point is about to break both of them. So it doesn't matter where we hit, as long as that we hit. No, let's break its head open like an egg.
저 부숴줄 테다.
정신 차리게. 장구에 따르면 정신에 지배하니.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로
의식 불명.
좋아.
좋아.
이렇게 막상 내버리는 거다.
Kill it. Kill it now.
대단하네.
노래 더 키워.
슬슬 지루하니까 빨리 끝내버리는 게 좋겠다.
It's probably not gonna survive until Heathcliff uses his special.
얼마나지?
Yeah, it didn't survive. Alright, got me the extra cost. I like it. Alright, we're gonna get max HP and we're gonna get defense level up. I'm gonna buy another first aid kit. Yes, it's tier 3, but don't want to boost the enemy. Alright, we are at the threshold where we can actually get the packs that I want. So let's take a look around. I need Charm, Wonder, and Doubt, I believe. And we need the Buckyak and Night Sweeping. So we're gonna go here now. We're gonna go here because we can get this gift and this gift. They are both related to the middle, so we're gonna get Kira's stuff, you know. And look, it's already there. Nice. That means we're gonna have to fight mannequins, and mannequins have unbreakable coins. And unbreakable coins for us are very nice, because even if the attack goes off, one of our allies is gonna punch you. Again, oh, another thing. I did say the middle need to get hit to deal more damage, and this is completely cancelled out by the fact that enemies have unbreakables. So you can turn the unbreakable into your favor. And you know, that is very nice. The only problem is, again, with any other faction, any other ID, taking too much bleed is bad. But because you're using counters, bleed does not get activated on counter. I have won a battle, a very long battle against mannequins using Solo, Hanafuda, Ishmael by just using clashable counters, because I had like 99 bleed potency and infinite bleed count.
웃기는 자식.
There's some bleed going on already.
고래구이 파티를 열어주겠다고 하니 의욕이 좀 났나?
Here we go. Bleed does not activate and we use the skill tree. So nice, so good.
13조 이하. 좋아.
게이지.
이번에는 제대로 들어가.
이거 공감 맞지?
의식 불명. 좋아. 한 줄 지워주지. 의식 불명. 좋아. 한 줄 지워주지.
Aaron.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내긴 죄가 너무 크군.
We're still not grudge maxing, so we're gonna keep that.
나머진 녀석들도 처형한다.
내가 봐주마. 거스타네. 이겨주지.
좋아. 장부에서 살지. 좋아. 장부에서 살지.
거스타네. 이겨주지.
네, 이 정도 이벤트는 보여줘야.
열나 열받죠? 이러면 아무것도 못하죠.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내긴 죄가 너무.
Ah, here it comes. It's time once again. But we're gonna edge it a little bit more. Now we're at 20 vengeance tattoos. How many we needed for the ultra empowered version is at 20%, 20 books of vengeance. So our allies need to get hit a little bit more. Not yet time. Hold your horses, Heathcliff.
일어나. 아직 11번은 죽어야 한다고.
And the thing that we're taking bleach chip damage from using our skills every now and then isn't even that bad because of the Book of Vengeance and Ricardo's passive. Whenever we use a counter, we gain shield based on our missing HP, so we get reasonably tanky enough to do things after. How many books we have? We have 8. Unfortunately, not enough books. We're not getting enough books. We need to gain more books. We need to get hit more. They're doing a very poor job at hitting us.
불에 더 키워. 난
Ooh, that is so good to look. That is so nice.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내긴
Alright.
죄가 너무. 저기 벌벌 떨고 있는 나머진 녀석들도 처형한다.
Even if we are not using the counter, we can slot it in because it will be good.
그래.
The more envy resonance we have, the stronger our attacks become. So even if we are giving up a unopposed attack, we are making the attacks that are gonna go out even stronger. Yes, hit me.
나가봐라. 일어나. 아직 11번은 죽어야 한다고.
이거 금강 맞지? 야! 필살! 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램!
방금의 공. 씨, 그 자체였다.
Comes the counter. Ah, it's so fun to play the middle. It gets me the good tingles, the good feel good vibe. The same as playing Kurokumo because you get punish people for playing the game. Well, the enemies for actually doing what they have to do. Right, let's go south. This thing. I don't want to fight you. Goodbye. Give me Midwinter Nightmare. I love this abnormality. It gives us a tier 3 gift that is incredibly powerful by just existing. And you I can kill. We have a full team and I can kill you solo too, so you're dead. Oh, we gotta accelerate our pace a little bit. It's almost on the 2-hour mark. And I did promise to play the article with my friends, and I did buy a Cuba Libre today to do exactly that. So maybe or maybe not, I will go. You know what? Promise made to you guys here live. This Saturday there is going to be the tabletop. On Sunday there is going to be the Reflect trial in the afternoon, and tomorrow afternoon. I don't think I have anything planned for tomorrow afternoon. I think tomorrow afternoon I am going to do an extreme mirror dungeon with the middle. Today is going to be our usual stuff. 5 floors with them, just as ID study, because I really wanted to check Ricardo Cliff here. But promise, tomorrow I'm going to do a afternoon stream for Ricardo Cliff. Ricardo Cliff and the gang going to floor 15. I should be doing it with Wild Hunt for the achievement, but his time will come. We have time to do that.
쓰러졌다고 죄의 대가를
All right,
치르지
it
않을
is
거라
staggered, and you know what happens next, right? That's right, it dies. There we go.
얼려라지.
거창을 세워주지.
Look at all those damage ups you get, man. It's redonkulous.
아픔이다 난.
Just kill it, just kill it. It's not going to survive. Let's collect the little sister's belongings from this house of spiders. Welcome back, Acidic Trauma. What the fuck? What the fuck just happened? No, I'm going. What the hell? I think it burnt my mustache. What the hell just happened there? Huh. I never had my cigar fight back against me before. Interesting.
본인이 나서지.
Oh, I see what's happening. One of the leaves is peeling off and that caught on fire by itself.
72조 사망 디행 사야.
All right, here we go. Once again, we're doing counter maxing.
죽을 때까지 맞아야 할 거다.
이거 공각 맞지? 야! 필살! 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램!
Look at all these damage ups we have. Holy shit, man. Look at that. Damage up, blunt power up, envy damage up, envy power up.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여봐. 13조 이항의 맛.
Yeah, the cigar fought back.
털만한 것들.
얼마만큼은
웃기는 자식.
못하지만
Not enough grudges on our side, so there's no reason to consume it.
재밌겠는데?
I'm also keeping attention on Ishmael's grudges because that's the one we have to babysit the most. Ricardo's are automatic. Ricardo quit. Book of Vengeance tattoos are automatic. We get it on Envy Resonance. It's just that Ishmael is the one we have to watch out for because if she uses her maximum resonance counter, she uses her skill tree, and her skill tree. Do you think we get any more decorp IDs? I'm pretty sure we will. They're a neat concept.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내.
Right, grudge time. 3 grudges, not good enough.
벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
그래, 내가 왔다. 거창을 세워주지. 의식불명. 좋아, 한줄 주어주지. 일어나.
I only have 5 grudges, that's more than enough.
죽음으로 끝내기엔 죄가
And I hear funny music going on.
저기 벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
What about this Chi Association IDs? I'm fairly sure they will come back. I mean, it's if they make a Chi Association in Ryosha, it's gonna sell like hotcakes. Especially if it has Boundary of Death. By the way, our mega skill got cancelled because the target died of bleed during the clash. But it still goes off.
한 줄 긋지?
저리 꺼져.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내기엔 죄가 너무 크고.
All right, finish them off, my sitters. How's your grudges? 7 grudges? We need more grudges. We're not getting hitting enough. We're not getting hit enough. What's going on? We're literally doing too well with just clashes that we're not getting hit to get our power-ups. Because we need Ishmael to get more grudges. She needs to get hit a little bit more. But if she uses her counter, she uses Violet Breaking Slam that consumes grudges, then we don't get the maximum effect out of it. We need 10 grudges. Come on, mannequins. You all have, you know, unbreakable coins. Use them. Also, now think about it. The mannequins are something that Callisto made when he was attacking LC, the research operation. How the hell did he have the time to make all of them? Is he really that good at making them so quickly? Because that's a lot of mannequins. Boink, boink. Here comes vengeance.
의식불명. 좋아, 한 줄 지워주지.
일어나. 아직 11번은 죽어야 한다고.
Salutations, hello Riku Akamine, welcome to the stream. We are at 13 grudges, but we are at the end of the battle, so... What's that I hear? What is that sound? What could it be? Migrani needed to shard Kurokumo Ishmael. That's a good choice. Kurokumo is always good to have. I just wish we had more IDs to get. Talk about Rio's new idea already. Yeah, we're gonna be seeing it very soon. What's the deal with that? Because I think it's too early for the capstone. I'm 70% on getting her. You get it. There is tricks to grinding more boxes out of the mirror dungeon. Some people reach floor 5, I mean, and quit like at the beginning of floor 5, because that gives you the same amount of boxes. But that's lame. Don't do that. It's lame. All right, gimme blunt. We're here for blunt. We need blunt. Didn't give us the blunt that we needed. Let's grind for blunt again. See. Don't care about this. Don't care about this. Making. It is a tier 3 gift, right? Yeah. So let's sacrifice this. No, it has to be a tier 2. So let's go for polarization. Keyword refresh, blunt once again. Meat tenderizer would be nice, but I need a specific. I came here to get that specific thing. I think it's too early for the capstone ID. I think it's gonna be something else. I'll pick the yes. Didn't get the gift I wanted out of this. What a shame. Actually, where is the gift that I wanted? 1 second. Where is my Eagle Gift Mirror Dungeon library? Give it a second. 1 moment.
Okay.
Is it a tier 2 or tier 3? I don't remember. Should be getting more bleed gifts after all, because otherwise I'm not gonna get the enter the BB. Where is it? It's a bleed gift. Pretty sure it's a bleed gift. Thermal Blades is a tier 3. Yes. Right. Sacrifice this and pray. And we got it. Nice. Right, we got everything we wanted out of here. Good. Let's go. Now we need 2 more bleed gifts, which is Respite, Sanguine, the Sanguine Fragrance Descends, and then the Boombox. So we're gonna get on the Buckgag. Ebony Queen and the cool song.
이 확인된 강화 시술로 중지를 위협.
You have counters, I hear you say. Nice, I like when you have counters. That means we can fight you. Oh, hold on. Why are we not clashing? Oh, let's see. Don clashes here. Ricardo clashes here. You clash here. Someone is going to take an attack for free. That is unfortunate, but that's just how it is. Can't redirect? Can't redirect. Actually, you can redirect the one that's coming for him, and this way our passive will activate and Ricardo will attack her. Good, 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 good. Anyway, I don't think it's gonna be the capstone just yet. I have the feeling that it's not gonna be, but it's gonna be strange that we're just gonna get 2 IDs that way. So we wait our judgment to see what the hell is going on. We wait to see. Let's not jump the gun here because I don't get super excited when I see a new ID. I know I'm gonna get it. It's more like, cool, I'm gonna get this ID. That's nice.
장부에 적힌 놈들은 볼 때마다 기가 막혀.
여기면서 뵐 수 있거든.
우리 중지가 엄지처럼 엄격한데 경지처럼 이해할 수 없는 걸 요구하는 것도 아닌데 말이지.
Rupture going. It's 4 stacks of rupture. We are faster than you, so we can get the full counter going. I don't mind taking a bit of damage, although it's kind of dangerous to take damage from an abnormality like that, especially if she had the empowered version of the abnormality, so yeah, let's do that. We have shields after all. And we can break parts with our counters. Yoshihide is just a word Yoshihide without spaces. Yeah, Yoshihide is also the original name of the painter on Hellspring, which is one of the books we're going to be reading soon-ish, if we keep going with the books. Oh, come on, Heathcliff. Ah, we're fine. But we get our counters off anyway. Nice AoE unbreakable there. Get slapped. Get slapped, Sealy. Ah, your fruit is exposed. You know what happens next, right? Ah, you know what happens next. I'll admit, when I was doing the console the first time, Ebony Queen just kind of kicked my ass because I didn't read her special powers, her enhanced version, but she still had every bit of a pushover. Elder Rector says that there will be coming maybe a new game mode where you don't control your sinners directly, you just put them on the field and watch them do your stuff. And I was thinking, why do an auto battler? And he always dreamed of doing an auto battler, as you may have seen that Library of Ruina was originally intended to be an auto battler. And then I realized the why. If you think back about Lobotomy Corporation, you don't have real true control over your nuggets. You just send them to the places, and they do stuff. It's dead, and they do stuff, which is very nice, and it kind of works like an auto battler. So I'm thinking that if we get a new game mode one day, and if we get something like Lobotomy Corporation in Limbus, where we got Limbus Company Research Division, you are probably going to be sending your researchers into hallways, and they will be fighting in the style of Limbus Company against the abnormalities that are on the hallways, and I think that's gonna be cool as hell. Ooh, char disc, first aid, or standard duty. I'll take char disc. We're going for the nocturnal sweeping, but not this one. We are going for the normal one first, which should be. Where is it? 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 Do we lose the Bokak? The normal one, I mean? Should be here. I think we don't have the normal one anymore. We only have the Bokak? Really? That's strange. Means we only have one chance to get up the one of the tattoos here. So we gotta be careful. God damn it, it's not the one I wanted. Well, more fuel for the furnace. More ego gifts for the ego furnace.
더 어려운 건 없나?
By the way, this event here is literally, would you like $1 or $2? Because you literally, if you choose the first one, you only get one gift. If you choose the second one, you get both gifts. Ah, family violence time.
72조 사망 디행 사야. 미확인된 강화 시술로 품질을 위협했으니 죽을 때까지
If you have purple, use purple. If you don't have purple, don't use purple. If you have purple, you create the purple out of thin air.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버려. 13조 이항에 맞추려면 그게 제격이다.
이거 공감 맞지?
They gain so many power-ups, man. They're absolutely monsters. Again, even before the newest IDs, I really don't. My Book of Vengeance cries out to find the person that said that they were not good on the mirror dungeon.
좋아. 한 줄 지워주지.
I have a video to prove it too. Fuck it, maybe one time I'll do just a Dawn and Mercer again just to prove people wrong because I'm fightful like that. I would fit in right in the middle, man. Call me G4 in the middle.
재밌겠는데?
거스타네 새겨주지. 일어나. 아직 11번은 죽어야 한다고.
한 놈의 죽음으로
Here we
끝내.
go, let's finish them off. We have a almost full purple resonance, which is always nice because we like purple in here. Purple is the color of royalty, and what bigger royalty than family? Kill that guy. Kill this new guy. Kill that one too.
재밌겠는데? 이걸로 제가 받군.
Ah, this is so nice. It's very nice to sit back and relax in the mirror dungeon for once. Instead of have like to pay attention to a billion little things, because we're running like a duo or a solo. Oh, we already passed the 2 hour. We gotta go fast. We gotta go faster than this. Hi, Werner. How you doing here, Werner? And then there is Matthias who dropped down what middle family means. Yep, he is literally, and I quote this verbatim, by the way, he is literally a family member no one wants around, you know? You have the nice little Christmas gathering on your house, and then in comes that one uncle no one wants present. He's there because it's a social obligation, you know? All right, Cigar is out. I don't want to give it another chance to fight back against me. So, relaxation time is over. It's time for the manager to sit in his chair properly, stretch out his arms, grab himself a nice cup of water. Oh, Werner shot has lighted real good out of there, huh? And now we are locked in for combat.
장부에 따르면 맨정신에 죽여야 하니까.
장부에서 삭제.
Ricardo must be working overnight just to reveal the middle. Everyone must have been working overnight to reveal the middle after Roland did what he did. At least we forget. Roland literally wiped out the southern middle, if I recall correctly. There's a chance for an eagle gift here, so I'm gonna go over here, even if I have to find the middle again.
3일 시작.
More middle, more fighting, more punching. Very nice. Violet Breaking Land. There's no point of using Violet Breaking Land at the start if we don't have grudges. So let's say eat a few hits so we gain our marks instead of clashing. We can live without with a bit of damage.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버려. 13조
See, we can kill a guy.
그게 체격이지.
We're brawling. And now we have a reason to use Breaking Slam because we now have enough grudges.
떨고 있는 나머진 녀석들도 쳐야 한다.
And since she is the second one to strike, we can regain our grudges back up again by just doing defensive again. Hi Werner, you're back.
차 부숴줄 테다.
Now we consume all our grudges, gain 2 tattoos. I think the reason why the people like the middle so much is because compared to the other fingers, there seems to be, even if it's a pretend family and there's a lot of things going on around it as well, they at least have some external outward friendship, camaraderie style thing going on. But the reason why the middle is still bad is because only the family matters, nothing else matters. So there it creates that little problem. All right, how much grudges you have? 2. Ricardo is paralyzed, so we're not going to be using our super mega ultra duper mega blaster skill right away. We are going to be countering. Dawn counters. You counter. You counter. You will just hit. Middle thing now destroy your body and sanity, yes. So the bad thing about the middle is that while you have this sensation of camaraderie and friendship with these people that, well, they're technically your family now, everyone else is a stranger. So anything that anyone else does to anyone, members of your family or not, has to be met with incredible violence. So you're probably not going to be creating a healthy relationship with anyone because 1, everyone is scared shitless of the middle, and 2, if that person does anything that goes against the Book of Vengeance, even in a jest or
아픔이 다 나는군. 슬슬 지루하니까 빨리 끝내버리는 게 좋겠어.
But please, let's 07 for this guy who has 11 HP, staggered, and 45 negative sanity that is about to get hit by complete and total extermination for no reason at all. Goodbye. Oh, he didn't. He just punched it in the. Never mind. I think he was not even good enough to be hit with a complete and total extermination. Just a nice punch to the throat. In any case. It was the safest amongst fingers. Just safest, I wouldn't say so, because you also have to undertake vengeances. You literally have the moment you join, you gain clear-cut allies and enemies. Right, we need blunt. So give me the blunt, please. Damn it. Middle style tattoos, there we go. I think I saw the chains on the next floor. 50% now, gonna leave. See you later, Moises. You're always welcome. And I'll be here to read the Metamorphosis a little bit later. All right, we got Sanguine Fragrance Descent, which is very nice. Let's sell some shit. We certainly don't need that. Need a little bit more money. Maybe selling this will do. Fragrance thing. Wind Descends. And Fuse Gift for Bleed level 3. We can sacrifice this. And let's hope we get what we want. No, not that. Bad. No, not that. Also bad. Let's do a little wish power. Why not? Smokes and Wire is not what I wanted, but I'll take it. So anyway, once you join the middle, you have clear-cut allies and enemies, and suddenly you have a bunch of people that you could have been friends or just, you know, met, but now they're your enemy for no reason because you have to follow the Book of Vengeance. That is your new creed. Everyone else is an enemy. and everyone else is a possible rule breaker as well. Let's sacrifice shoes, they're not that good. Fuck, I don't want that, I want bleed. I want the level 3 bleed skill. What else could we sacrifice? Polarize, this, there we go. Give me respite, give me respite. God damn it, I'll take the rupture blood sac, but that's not what I wanted. This and this. We got a level 2, no. Get the puppy out. And what? I asked for bleed, motherfucker. Stop giving me the wrong shit. There we go. Now we only need the boombox, which we're gonna get now. Yep, that's the downside. Once the middle can't leave the middle. Don't know how quickly it did, but it happens to 5, so that's on me. Yeah, I'll let you discover that one, Riku. I'm not gonna spoil you, but once you enter the middle, you can't leave. Everyone else that is not part of the family is a potential enemy, and anything that is outside of the family that does anything that goes against the Book of Vengeance, you have to get revenge immediately with full violence. And basically you're alienating yourself to the rest of the world by joining the middle. But hey, you get a family now. It's the only family you need, which is kind of okay considering the situation of the city. But we have to remember that living a normal life in the city is very much possible. We only consider like, oh, I'm gonna join the middle, oh, I'm gonna join the index, or I'm gonna join something else, because we are not overly exposed to the normal things that happen in the city. And what do I mean by that? Because if you analyze the setting a little bit closer, you will see that there are many amenities of the modern world present in the city. But for those amenities to happen in the first place, people need to produce it. And sure, we have mega corporations with the technology to make them, and etc. But someone at the end of the day still has to go to the glue factory to make glue, to make sticky notes, for example, that we see on, for example, when Gregor goes to the office, the Rita de Travallo, it's a normal office. It has a computer, it has binders, it has bureaucracy. So someone had to go to the factory to make those, as well for clothing, as well as for tattoos, chain making. Everything, every other aspect of modern society that is present here has to be manufactured, and I don't see like a middle member being on the factory. They are a criminal organization after all, and there's a lot of violence in the city. Yes, so it's something I say always about the setting is that violence is not just casualized, the everyday thing, it is professionalized. And we go back to the example I gave, like being an axe murderer in the city isn't just like a, sure, it's morally reprehensible, but you can just be an axe murderer and open up an office that specializes in axe killings, and you gather up with other people that also are axe murderers, and you axe murder your way to the top of the food chain, because it is your profession. You have a business, you have cards, you have deals and bureaucracy and all of that. They probably steal stuff because no one's stopping them. Yeah, they probably collect like protection money. Protection money. Hey, I'm gonna take this because I'm in the middle and you're on our turf, right? You wouldn't want to deny this to a member to the family, right? They are a criminal organization. One of the most powerful ones, yeah, but still a criminal organization. That's a lot of sweepers, yeah. Again, I only think the sweepers exist in these many numbers on the Kanto because it is China. We're in China. Hold your horses, Heathcliff. It's not yet time for complete total extermination. Save it for the third wave. You need to get your book going. Easy with the trash disposal, buddy. The boombox is powering up. Here he comes.
고작 이 정도로 쓰러질 녀석은 없겠지. 중지를 공격한다는 게 어떤 뜻인지 보여줘야 하지 않겠냐?
불을 더 키워.
Eliminated.
금강 맞지? 야! 필살! 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램!
그 정도
Is there gonna be a sweeper left for the big attack? Yes, there is. Look at the little meat chunks flying off to the side.
한 놈의 죽음으로 끝내긴 죄가 너무
Right, just kill them. We're no need to be fancy.
나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
Yeah, it's the return of the red mist, pretty much, Riku Akamine. On Library of Ruin, whenever Gabriel activated her ego, you would override the boss music. Because she was on the level of a boss. She just has more power. Nice.
이거 금강 맞지?
I'm sure that 15 is gonna help you, buddy.
불명. 좋아. 한 줄 씌워주지. 좋아. 장부에서 샀지.
Very nice. Anyway, that is a problem I've been noticing on my tabletop, is that unless you have the specific jargon for the city, like the middle, the fingers, fixers, and all that, and it's easy to mistake the setting for a modern cyberpunk thing, because it has all the things for a, what's it called? You know what? We could go here and teach Rufo a lesson. There's no reason why I should go here, but I'm gonna go. Anyway, it can easily be confused with a modern setting, modern cyberpunk, because of the how well modern it is. All the stuff that we have in our world exists in the world of the city is just a little more ridiculous. Again, we don't have laws as we know it. We have the taboos, which are a little bit different. The only law that is enforced is the law that you can, you know, keep with your two fingers and all that. With your finger, with, you know, the law for fighting. And try. There's no law in the city, only the taboos. The only law is the law of fuck around, find out. That's what I meant. Sorry about that. That's why you usually are paying protection money to syndicate, hiring fixers to be your bodyguards and act as, you know, law enforcement. That's why we have this why. Let's say you live in a neighborhood and you're all just normal people. You go to offices, you run food stands, you work in a restaurant, etc. But lately, coming back at home, you're seeing some unsavory individuals hanging around in the street, and you're not feeling safe anymore, right? So you go together with your other concerned neighbors to this Y association and pay them a fee for like a month, or sign up a plan like, all right, we're gonna have some more fixers roam around the place, and you know, if there's someone attacking you, we'll protect you. So that's how it's gonna work, because the city has no law enforcement, but still life has to go on. Normal jobs exist, normal people exist, people without augmentations, people that can't fight, same way the rats exist besides the sweepers.
벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
내가 왔다.
Kind of reminds me of Egyptian music, like modern, like I can see Matthias doing like a sidewalk, like an Egyptian thing with his tongue.
한 번은 죽어야 한다고.
한 놈의 죽음을 끝내.
With Rufo here, because Rufo needs to be taught a lesson.
벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도
A vengeance, if you will. Vengeance for everyone.
장난이 길었군. 난
이 정도 이벤트는 보여줘야지.
Alright, I need to do something about the whole mundanity of the setting on my campaign because it feels very much just like any cyberpunk campaign that we're running, even though my character is running around with a katana and a kimono, and we throw around the you know, fixers and all that sometimes, but it doesn't feel Project Moon, you know? But I'm sure I'll fix that once my campaign comes up because it's going to feature the Blood Kings. And they're basically vampires from Vampire the Masquerade, but it's still Blood Kings. I still have to edit the video for the first part of my friend's campaign to publish here on the channel. I've been dragging my feet about doing videos because it requires a lot of time and attention, and I don't have enough skills as an editor to say I do a good job. I did try to trim some of our previous sessions. I don't know if it worked very well. Hey, nice unbreakable coin you got there, buddy.
의식불명.
이거 생각났지? 필살! 발렛 브레이크 슬램!
좋아.
Very nice.
장부에서 삭제.
The only problem with fighting Rufo is that we are going to be taking hits, and she applies status effects on us, and she gains power from status effects. But I think we have enough ego gift to counteract that. Oh. Right, moving on. We have an effect there. I kind of wanted to go on tweeting threads as well. Next time we do like a extreme floor with this thing, because tweeting thread has the punchy gauntlet for the middle. Oh, it's the fucking index. Hi, how you guys doing? This is my least favorite finger. I kind of dislike the index a lot. Who's the target? She is a target.
재밌겠는데?
Yes, hit me. Complete your prescript. Here's your reward. Here's your reward for completing that prescript. I sure you feel very nice after completing that prescript, huh? Very accomplished.
그래, 딱 반쯤 죽여버렸군. 13조 2항에 맞추려면 그게 제격이지.
I used to practice sword fighting, and I think if it wasn't for the tattoos, even with the tattoos, it must be so difficult to fight people with swords by only using your punching and kicking. Even if you don't have to worry about stuff like I don't get cut because the tattoos will protect me and all that. It still must be really, really awkward. It's not about fighting the index. It's more that I don't like them conceptually. I don't like the blind religious side of the faction because it kind of kills, especially for roleplay. It kind of completely kills any roleplay you can do with them outside of some very specific scenarios because they're literally religious zealots, religious nuts. So you don't really have good dialogue with it other than I'm going to kill you because the prescript told me to. I can't let you pass because the prescript didn't allow me to let you pass and all that stuff. You don't have good dialogue options with them. You know, the best thing you can do is some manipulation. Say, oh, actually, you should do this prescript this way because that would be the correct way to do things, and try to fool them. But otherwise, you don't have really good dialogue options for them, roleplay wise.
재밌겠는데?
As a faction, like an enemy in game, I don't mind them because the gimmick is extremely simple. Just pay attention to the rolls and don't let them throw the flower. Don't let them clash against the guy with the flower. And if they are not faster than you are, it's literally a joke. And again, since we can only get them up to floor 5, maybe 4, and a very specific scenario, you really don't have a problem. Because whatever, like, yeah, they're gonna hit me here. I'm gonna let them hit me here, but it's not gonna make it not gonna be good for them because we are a counter faction. Let them get their little power-ups here. I don't mind. Go ahead. because at the end of the day, it's just like you're playing a game of cards or something, where you know the enemy is doing something that will power him up, but by then doing that something that powers him up, you are going to be powered up as well. So go ahead, attack the guy that is marked, use your unbreakable coin on him, but the moment you use your unbreakable coin, we're gonna hit you with a counter. That's very cool, man. Want to see my fists? Oh, Heathcliff activates kicking even if he is hit himself. That is insane.
슬슬 지루하니까 빨리 끝내버리는 게
Oh, do you hear that? Is the sound of doom approaching you? Oh, if anything survives this.
불에 더 키워.
좋아. 장부에서 삭제.
Sure, you can have some you can have some interesting interactions with Index, especially if you're getting someone that is either way too deep into the Index,
이 정도 이벤트는 보여줘야지.
way too into the Index that he knows part of the Index is bullshit, but he follows it anyway, like Rian. Or you have someone that is new to the Index and they don't know what's going on. But if you get a completely brainwashed Index character, which is most of them, you don't really have good dialogue options with them. An example I can give you this is that during our campaign in the tabletop, our office was visited by a messenger of the Index and a proxy. So very high level, powerful individuals, mind you. They gotta fight. All right. That's what happens when you fail. I see. Anyway, we got a messenger and a proxy. My character, Ryonosuke, hates the Index. He absolutely despises them. So their presence there immediately put them in combat mode. And I won that fight, but the GM had better plans, so he GM forced the character to escape. But it was a perfect example of that, because I put in very clean terms that if you come here again, I am going to kill you. He came back, and guess what's going to happen? And he did. Oh, the prescript told me to come here, so I don't have a choice. Oh, the prescript told me to do this, so I have to do this. And it became a little tiring, so my character just attacked him, and he would have won that fight. But someone got in the way, unfortunately. But my character, he has a bleed gimmick. Like he gains a lot of power as long as he has self bleed. And what else? He builds up crit. Here's how it works. In the system, we have poise and we have critical. Poise is your crit chip. It's not very powerful by itself. Critical is how much damage you're gonna do when you eventually crit. My character builds up poise to gain crit chance, but he uses something called Poise Pause. As long as Poise Pause is in effect, for that turn that he uses an ability that has Poise Pause, he does not roll for crit. Instead, he just, builds up the critical chance. And whenever he uses that ability, he also gains critical. So essentially, my character is using that ability over and over to gain several stacks of critical. And when it's time, I don't use the ability with the critical. Instead, I've used another one that increases critical damage, and then do all my D10s accumulated critical as extra damage on my critical. So I'm really saving up, instead of doing critical damage all the time, I'm saving up critical for a big critical. Like I'm gonna use this like once per combat, but when he hits, it's probably over half your HP bar gone. And if you're low enough, it's instant death too, so. Alright, time to die, Ring. Ringo ring.
되겠냐고요.
Very difficult to get Book of Vengeance Ricardo. He wasn't joking saying how he doesn't know how people get in the Book of Vengeance. Because you need to get your allies hit, and it only works once per skill. And the max stack is 20. You need your allies to get hit 20 times. And you think that would be easy, considering that you know, we're using encounters a lot, but it's not happening. I haven't seen it with max stacks of books, Book of Vengeance at all.
털만한 것들.
Let me just reread that real quick. Ah, here are the glasses. He put the glasses down when he's about to use it. So,
빨리 끝나버리는 게 좋겠어.
enemy and gain 1 Book of Vengeance risk it once per skill. Like that, gains 3 Book of Vengeance hit cliff. Yeah, once per skill, so.
불에 더 키워.
Complete and total extermination.
난
For one guy. We didn't have our stacks to get an AoE on that. Unfortunate.
일어나. 아직 11번을 죽어야 한다고.
Anyway, the fight is over. On to Rufo. And then after Rufo, we're going to read our book, and then I'm going to hit Abiotic Factor Mines. Rufo, it's time for punishment. Alright. I still have another fight. I thought it was the last fight. Whoops. Unfortunate, but we'll make do. I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the book for our reading, because victory is a consequence of letting Ricardo do whatever he wants. So, it's not even out of question here. Where's the book? Where is the book? Gregor book. Gregor book, manifest yourself. God damn it. Here we go.
재밌겠는데?
So, book. We start with page 57 out of 77. So we have 20 pages to go, but I assume some of the later pages are going to be just like the book. And no, it's full text up to the end. We might not finish the book today, so I'm going to limit myself to 10 pages today, so as to give me time to actually play the Abiotic Factor with my friends. Hit us.
이거 건강 맞지? 아무튼 슬램!
그래.
일식 불명.
반쯤 죽여버려.
좋아. 한줄 지워주지.
이 향에 맞추려면 그게 체격이지.
By the way, we're gonna get a massive power boost the moment we get to the shop, because of the gift we're gonna feel.
나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
Haha!
일식 불명.
이거 건강 맞지?
한줄 지워주지.
햇살! 발렛 브레이크 슬램!
나가봐라. 일식 불명. 좋아. 한줄 지워주지. 거스타네.
Yeah, that's what we like to see.
한 놈의 죽음으로
Ah, death is coming once again.
저기 벌벌 떨고 있는
Let's
나머지
make sure
녀석들
death is purple.
불에 더 키워.
So if there's anyone left alive at the end, because he's low on the
이거 건강 맞지?
initiative.
발렛 브레이크 슬램!
37. We're powered up.
일어나. 아직 11번.
Very nice. I think it's time for finish this and Rufo time.
벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
We're really not getting hit that much often. We're not even getting Sinclair's passive up. What's going on? I think that's gonna change for Rufo because she has like a lot of unbreakables, but
정신 차리게. 장부에 따르면 맨정신에 죽여야 하니까.
거스터를 새겨주지.
all right. I do believe that the docent of the ring is about the same level as the big brother of the middle, so this is gonna be an interesting fight. If a bit one-sided because we have too many ego gifts powering up this team. Give me a random tier gift. And Pen of Stifle Rage, kind of garbage, but we'll take it. Here we go! Meat Tenderizer, I'll take it. Give me a Blunt Refresh, because there is a certain gift I want from here. Blunt Refresh. There it is! Haha! Let's use the gift now. The very powerful gift of the middle. Oh yes! Oh yes! Here we go. Oh, baby. Oh, brother. Let's enhance our UPS system for extra damage ups. What else can we upgrade here? There is really isn't a lot. We could get the bleed gift because we're all bleed. We have rusted muzzle. We stole the rest of him, which we needed, so not gonna happen. Well, this one is useless. So is this. We get 10% chance. Thank you. Very cool. Let's see. Yeah, no, there isn't a lot of gifts that we got. We did get most of the important ones, so that's good. Let's take this for more clash power. And this for more damage. We're done. Let's go. Since I am behind the schedule a little bit, I'm only going to read a few pages of the book today. Unfortunate, but I have previous things that I arranged to do. I'm sorry. And for some reason, this took longer than necessary because maybe it was 5 IDs that I have to analyze. So, hi Rufo, it's me, Ricardo. How are you doing? Let's do some clashing, shall we?
그래. 내가 왔다.
This is Future rolling 26, why not? He straight up staggered that guy from the get-go and then killed him. Why not? He's like a full hit flip, but he procs the extra attack on an enemy just because. Right, we're all grudged up.
나도 녹이면서 뵐 수 있거든.
저기 벌벌 떨고 있는 나머지 녀석들도 처형한다.
Here you go. Hey, you can't escape the AoE, Rufo.
좋아. 이번에는 제대로 들어가.
Give me the book.
의식 불명. 좋아.
Ah, but you can't escape our first counter, huh? Ah, give me another stack of book, please. Hit me.
그걸로 제가 팠군.
Ah, this is cathartic, isn't it?
이거 건강 맞지? 야! 필살! 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램!
It's a stagger, why not? If Matthias Alt is coming out, it's going to be unstoppable. But again, I'm fairly sure we were preparing.
끝내기는 죄가 너무 크고.
I'm pretty sure they're preparing us for something bad that is gonna happen. Some real powerful enemies. That's why we're getting all of these powerful ADs. So enjoy while you can. That's my guess. All right, second stage.
장부에 적힌 놈들은 볼 때마다 기가 막히네. 우리
이거.
중계가 엄지처럼 엄격한 것, 엄지처럼 이해할 수 없는 걸 요구하는 것도 아닌데 말이지.
Oh, I hope you're. Are you prepared for the type of death you earn, little woman?
재밌겠는데? 이거 공감했지? 필살! 바이올렛 브레이크 슬램!
Ah, here comes punishment.
안 털만한 거스타네 새겨주지.
Oh, we're at 12 books right now. That's very nice.
얼려라지.
Please keep hitting us. Nice attack. Very cool. Let's keep going, shall we? Because here he comes. It's not fully powered up, unfortunately, but it's the closest we got. I don't want to lose the streak of purple. The purple streak. I don't think it's gonna survive that long anyway. Not a kill, but very close to a kill. Oh, there's the kill. Didn't stand a chance. All right, that was our mirror dungeon. Let's get to book reading. What is there to say, my friends? They are so powerful. Unfortunately, we're not going to go for 10 here because I have things to do, but I am going to read the book. What is there to say? They are fun, they are excellent to play. They have several gifts that work in their favor. They are easy to get. Just get yourself the middle team and make them for the Kurokumo still, because katanas, but goddamn are they fun to play. Alright. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here for gameplay, unfortunately the gameplay has ended. For now, we are going to be reading Franz, Kafka, the Metamorphosis. I do believe that I stopped here. There we go. We are going to be reading now. If you are here for gameplay, like I said, the mirror dungeon is over. We are going to go now for book reading. So if you're going to leave right now, I don't mind it. Please, if you have to, just go do your thing. And if you're interested in the Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka, well, we're about to start. So before you leave, let me just hit you with the usual stuff. If you like the stream, please recommend it to your friends. And if you didn't, recommend it to your enemies. Now, if you really like it and wish to give some support, please leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, a follow on Twitch or a follow on Twitter, where I post stuff sometimes. Right now, we are going to start our book reading. So, last time, Gregor transformed, manager came in, saw him transformed, left, his family locked him into his room. He's been getting worse and worse. And the family's now, the father is working again, the mother is working, the sister is working, but Gregor is slowly rotting in his room, and no one tries to communicate with him properly because they assume he does not understand them, etc, etc. Let's begin. Gregor spent his nights and days with hardly any sleep. Sometimes he thought that the next time the door opened, he would take over the family arrangement just as he had earlier. In his imagination, if his imagination appeared again after a long time, his employer and supervisor and the apprentices the gormless custodian, 2 or 3 friends from the other business, a chambermaid from the hotel in the provinces, a loving fleeting memory, a female cashier from a hat shop whom he had tearlessly but too slowly courted. They all appeared mixed in with strangers or people he already had forgotten. But instead of helping him and his family, they were all unapproachable, and he was happy to see them disappear. But then he was in no mood to worry about his family. Did I skip something? I feel like I skipped something. Close the door. They continue from here. Sorry. But then he was in no mood to worry about his family. He was filled with sheer anger over the wretched care he was getting. Even though he couldn't imagine anything for which he might have an appetite, still he made plans about how he could take from the larder what he at all accounts deserved, even if he wasn't hungry. Without thinking anymore about how one might be able to give Gregor special pleasure, the sister now kicked some food or other very quickly into his room in the morning and at noon before she ran off to her shop, and in the evening quite indifferent about whether the food had perhaps only been tasted or what happened most frequently remained entirely undisturbed. She whisked it out with one sweep of her broom. The task of cleaning his room, which she now always carried out in the evening, could not be done any more quickly. Streaks of dirt ran along the walls. Here and there lay tangles of dust and garbage. At first, when his sister arrived, Gregor positioned himself in a particular filthy corner in order with this posture to make something of a protest. But he could have well stayed there for weeks without his sister changing her ways. Indeed, she perceived the dirt as much as he did, but she had decided to just let it stay. In this business, with a touchiness which was quite new to her and which had generally taken over the entire family, she kept watch to see that the cleaning of Gregor's room remained reserved for her. Once his mother had undertaken a major cleaning of Gregor's room, which had only completed successfully after using a few buckets of water, but the extensive dampness made Gregor sick and he lay supine, embittered and immobile on the couch. However, the mother's punishment was not delayed for long, for in the evening the sister had hardly observed the change in Gregor's room before she ran into the living room mightily offended and, in spite of her mother's hand lifted high in entreaty, broke out in a fit of crying. Her parents, the father had of course woken up with a start in his armchair, at first looked at her astonished and helpless, until they started to get agitated. Turning to his right, the father heaped reproaches on the mother that she was not to take over the cleaning of Gregor's room from the sister, and turning to his left, he shouted at the sister that she would no longer be allowed to clean Gregor's room ever again, while the mother tried to pull the father, beside himself in his excitement, into the bedroom. The sister, shaken by her crying fit, pounded on the table with her tiny fist, and Gregor hissed at all this, angry that no one thought about shutting the door and sparing him the sight of this commotion. But even when the sister, exhausted from her daily work, had grown tired of caring for Gregor as she had done before, even then the mother did not have to come all on her behalf, and Gregor did not have to be neglected. For now, the cleaning woman was there. This old widow, who in her long life must have managed to survive the worst with the help of her bony frame, had no real horror of Gregor. Without being in the least curious, she had once by chance opened Gregor's door. At the sight of Gregor, who, totally surprised, began to scamper here and there, although no one was chasing him, she remained standing with her hands folded across her stomach, staring at him. Since then, she did not fail to open the door furtively at little every morning and every evening to looking on Gregor. At first, she also called him to her with words which presumably thought were friendly, like, "Come here for a bit, old dung beetle," or "Hey, look at the old dung beetle." Addressed in such a manner, Gregor answered nothing, but remained motionless in his place, as if the door had not been opened at all. If only instead of allowing this cleaning woman to disturb him uselessly whenever she felt like it, they had instead given her orders to clean up his room every day. One day, in the early morning, a hard downpour, perhaps already sign of the coming spring, struck the window panes. When the cleaning woman started up once again with her usual conversation, Gregor was so bitter that he turned towards her as if for an attack, although slowly and weakly. But instead of being afraid of him, the cleaning woman merely lifted up a chair standing close by the door, and she stood there with her mouth wide open. Her intention was clear. She would close her mouth only when the chair in her hand had been thrown down on Gregor's back. "This goes no further, all right?" she asked, as Gregor turned himself around again, and she placed the chair calmly back in the corner. Gregor ate hardly nothing anymore. Only when he chanced to move past the food which had been prepared did he, as a game, take a bit into his mouth, hold it there for hours, and generally spit it out again. At first, he thought it might be his sadness over the condition of his room which kept him from eating, but he very soon became reconciled to the alterations in his room. People had grown accustomed to put into storage in his room things which they couldn't put anywhere else, and at this point there were many such things. Now that they had rented one room of the apartment to 3 lodgers, these solemn gentlemen, all 3 had full beards, as Gregor once found out through a crack in the door, were meticulously intent on tidiness, not only in their own room, but, since they had now rented a room here, in the entire household, and particularly in the kitchen. They simply did not tolerate any useless or shoddy stuff. Moreover, for the most part, they had brought with them their own pieces of furniture. Thus, many items had become superfluous, and these were not really things one could sell or things people wanted to throw out. All these items ended up in Gregor's room, even the box of ashes and the garbage pail from the kitchen. The cleaning woman, always in a hurry, simply flung anything that was momentarily useless into Gregor's room. Fortunately, Gregor generally saw only the relevant object and the hand which held it. The cleaning woman perhaps was intending, when time and opportunity allowed, to take the stuff out again or to throw everything out all at once. But in fact, the things remained lying there, wherever they had ended up at the first row, unless Gregor squirmed his way through the accumulation of junk and moved it. At first, he was forced to do this because otherwise there was no room for him to creep around. But later he did it with a growing pleasure. Though after such moments, tired to death and feeling wretched, he didn't budge for hours. Because the lodgers sometimes also took their evening meal at home in the common living room, the door to the living room stayed shut on many evenings. But Gregor had no trouble at all going without the open door. Already on many evenings when it was open, he had not availed himself of it, but without the family noticing, was stretched out in the darkest corner of his room. However, once the cleaning woman had left the door to the living room slightly ajar and remained open even when the lodgers came in the evening and the lights were put on, they sat down at the head of the table, where in earlier days the mother, the father, and Gregor had eaten, unfolded their serviette, and picked up their knives and forks. The mother immediately appeared in the door with a dish of meat, and right behind her the sister with a dish piled high with potatoes. The food gave off a lot of steam. The gentlemen lodgers bent over the plates set before them as if they wanted to check it before eating, and in fact the one who sat in the middle, for the other two he seemed to serve as the authority, cut off a piece of meat to on the plate, obviously to establish whether it was sufficiently tender and whether or not something should be shipped back to the kitchen. He was satisfied, and mother and sister, who had looked on in suspense, began to breathe easily and to smile. The family itself ate in the kitchen. In spite of that, before the father went into the kitchen, he came into the room and with a single bow, cap in hand, made a tour of the table. The lodgers rose up collectively and murmured something in their beards. Then, when they were alone, they ate almost in complete silence. It seemed odd to Gregor that out of all the many different sorts of sounds of eating, what was always audible was their chewing teeth. As if by that, Gregor should be shown that people needed their teeth to eat, and that nothing could be done even with the most handsome toothless jawbone. I really do have an appetite, Gregor said to himself sorrowfully, but not for those things. How these lodgers stuff themselves, I'm dying. On this very evening, Gregor didn't remember hearing the violin all through this period. It sounded from the kitchen. The lodgers had already ended their night meal. The middle one had pulled out a newspaper and had given each of the two a page, and they were now leaning back, reading and smoking. When the violin started playing, they became attentive, got up and went out to tiptoe to the hall door, at which they remained standing pressed up against one another. They must have been audible from the kitchen, because the father called out, "Perhaps the gentlemen don't like the playing, I can't stop at once." "Oh, on the contrary," stated the lodger in the middle. "Might the young women not come into us and play in the room where it is already much more comfortable and cheerful?" "Oh, thank you," cried out the father, as he were the one playing the violin. The men stepped back into the room and waited. Soon the father came with the music stand, the mother with the sheet music, and the sister with the violin. The sister calmly prepared everything for the recital. The parents, who had never previously rented a room and therefore exaggerated their politeness to the lodgers, dared not sit on their own chairs. The father leaned against the doors, his right hand stuck between the two buttons of his buttoned-up uniform. The mother, however, accepted a chair offered by one lodger. Since she left the chair sit where the gentleman had chance to put it, she sat to one side in the corner. The sister began to play. The father and mother followed attentively, one on each side, the movement of her hand. Attracted by the playing, Gregor had ventured to advance a little further forward, and his head was already in the living room. He scarcely wondered about the fact that recently he had so little consideration for others. Earlier, this consideration had been something he was proud of, and for that very reason, he would have had this moment more reason to hide away. Because as a result of the dust which lay all over his room and flew around with the slightest movement, he was totally covered in dirt. On his back and his sides, he carted around with him dust, shreds, hair, and remnants of food. His indifference to everything was much too great for him to lie on his back and scour himself on the carpet, as he often had done earlier during the day. In spite of his condition, he had no timidity about inching forward a bit on the spotless floor of the living room. In any case, no one paid him any attention. The family was all caught up in the violin playing. The lodgers, by contrast, who for the moment had placed themselves their hands in their trouser pockets behind the music stand, much too close to the sister, so that they could all see the sheet music. Something that must certainly bother the sister soon drew back to the window, conversing in low voices with bowed heads, where they then remained, worriedly observed by the father. It now seemed really clear that, having assumed they were to hear beautiful or intricate violin recital, they were disappointed, and were allowing their peace and quiet to be disturbed only out of politeness. The way in which they all blew smoke from their cigars out of their noses and mouths in particular led one to conclude that they were very irritated, and yet his sister was playing so beautifully. Her face was turned to the side, her gaze followed the score intently and sadly. Gregor crept forward, still a little further, and kept his head close against the floor in order to be able to catch her gaze if possible. Was he an animal that music so seized him? For him, it was as if the way to the unknown nourishment he craved was revealing itself to him. He was determined to press forward right to his sister, to tug at her dress and to indicate to her in this way that she might still come with her violin into his room, because here no one valued the recital as he wanted to value it. He did not wish to let her go from his room anymore, at least not as long as he lived. His frightening appearance would for the first time become useful for him. He wanted to be at all the doors of his room simultaneously and snarl back at the attackers. However, his sister should not be compelled, but would remain with him voluntarily. She would sit next to him on the sofa, bend down her ear to him, and he would then confide in her that he firmly intended to send her to the conservatory, and that, if his misfortune had not arrived in the interim, he would have declared all this last Christmas. Had Christmas really already come and gone, and would have broke no argument. After this explanation, his sister would break up out in tears of emotion, and Gregor would lift himself up to her armpit and kiss her throat, which she, from the time she started going to work, had left exposed without a band or a collar. "Mr. Sensa," called out the middle lodger to the father, and pointed his index finger, without uttering a further word, at Gregor as he was moving slowly forward. The violin fell silent. The middle lodger smiled, first shaking his head once at his friend, but then looked down at Gregor once more. Rather than driving Gregor back again, the father seemed to consider it of prime importance to calm down the lodgers, although they were not at all upset, and Gregor seemed to entertain them more than the violin recital. The father hurried over to them and with outstretched arms tried to push them into their own room, and simultaneously to block their view of Gregor with his own body. At this point, they became really somewhat irritated, although one no longer knew whether that was because of the father's behavior or because of the knowledge they had just acquired that they had without knowing a neighbor like Gregor. They demanded explanations from his father, raised their arms to make their points, tugged agitedly at their own beards, and moved back towards the room quite slowly. In the meantime, the isolation which had suddenly fallen upon his sister after the sudden breaking off the recital had overwhelmed her. She had held on to the violin and bow in her limp hand for a little while, and had continued to look at the sheet music as if she was still playing. All at once, she pulled herself together, placed the instrument in her mother's lap. The mother was still sitting in her chair, having trouble breathing with her lungs laboring, and had to run into the room, which the lodgers, pressured by the father, were already approaching more rapidly. One could observe how under the sister's practiced hand the sheets and pillows on the bed were thrown on high and arranged, even before the lodgers had reached the room. She was finished fixing the bed and was slipping out. The father seemed so gripped once again with his stubbornness that he forgot about the respect which he always owed to his renters. He pressed on and on until at the door of the room the middle gentleman stamped loudly with his foot and thus brought the father to a standstill. "I hereby declare," the middle lodger said, raising his hand and casting his glance both on the mother and the sister, that considering the disgraceful conditions prevailing in this apartment and family, which with this he spat decisively on the floor, I'm immediately cancel my room. I will of course pay nothing at all for the days which I had lived here. On the contrary, I shall think about whether or not I will initiate some sort of action against you, something which, believe me, will be very easy to establish. He fell silent and looked directly in front of him, as if he was waiting for something. In fact, his two friends immediately joined in with their opinions. We also give immediate notice. With that, he seized the door handle, banged the door shut, and locked it. The father groped his way tottering to his chair and let himself fall in it. It looked as if he was stretching out for his usual evening snooze, but the heavy nodding on his head, which looked as if it was without support, showed that he was not sleeping at all. Gregor had lain motionless the entire time in the spot where the lodgers had caught him. Disappointment with the collapse of his plan and perhaps also his weakness brought on by his severe hunger made it impossible for him to move. He was certainly afraid that a general disaster would break over him at any moment, and he waited. He was not even startled when the violin fell from his mother's lap out from under her trembling fingers and gave off a reverberating tone. "My dear parent," said the sister, banging her hand on the table by way of introduction, "things cannot go any longer in this way. Maybe if you don't understand that, well, I do. I will not utter my brother's name in front of this monster, and thus I say only that we must try to get rid of it. We have tried what is humanly possible to take care of it and to be patient. I believe that no one can criticize us in that slightest." "He is right in 1,000 ways," said the father to himself. The mother, who was still incapable of breathing properly, began to cough numbly, with her hand held up over her mouth and a manic expression in her eye. We're stopping here. So, Gregor, my boy. What a book. What an unfortunate thing. Apparently Ricardo and the hard intervallo. Holy shit, I hate to do the middle of Ricardo. It's alright, acidic trauma. You get by that. In any case, that is it for today's streams. If you liked the stream, please recommend it to your friends. If you didn't, please recommend it to your enemy. Tune in tomorrow for maybe the Mirror Dungeon Extreme in the afternoon. I did promise that, didn't I? Well, I'll do that. In any case, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Sweet kisses and goodbye. Wow.